Hey, Tubester, don't think I didn't forget. You freaking flagged my content that was gold last week. And if you think the shenanigans is going to stop right there, I got 2 words for you.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes! What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
Oh, yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast. Gentlemen, what's crack-a-lacking? How you brothers
What's
feeling?
up, bro?
How you doing, sir? What's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm living. I'm live. It's a little cold where I'm at, but it's okay, though. My blood is
Ooh.
flowing.
Man, I'm feeling good. Look, the Orioles just picked up a win. That's why, I had to rock my shirt. I got my coffee, my Wrestling Wrealm Now mug. This is the last day of August. And you know what I've been doing all month? I've been indulging in food. So September, I'm going to get back because guess what? The brother ain't put on no weight. I'm still at 195. So the way I was eating, if I wanted to stay at this pace, I would stay there. But, I'm not going to. But it felt good not to put the weight back on and still eat really good. Because it's my birthday month. I celebrate all month.
Well, that's always a positive. Brother Hugh, what's the word, man?
Man, I'm chilling like a villain, bro. You already know.
Always. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We have a very special show tonight. Brothers, we've got another brother on to join the other brothers.
Ooh,
and together, we're a bunch of brothers. You guys ready for him?
Yeah.
Man, listen, man. I think tonight's going to be one of those shows, man. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah, man.
But tonight, the Wrestling Wrealm will be joined by none other than Demarus Dye of Dye Sporting Network and the Flex Zone. And he's here to join us as we discuss Clash of the Castle, NXT Worlds Collide, what's going on in AEW, a lot of controversies with the Women's Tag Team Championship, and much more. But, of course, we have to get to logistics. So wait for it. Welcome to the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, you can catch our flagship show, The Wrestling Wrealm, and other shows such as Wrestle for the Culture, Break It Down with Brian H., and other content on youtube.com/The Wrestling Wrealm, where myself, the real Dwayne Allen, and Brian H. Waters has the third brother, Hugh. We explore many topics and try to educate and give fans a different perspective on many different things in the world of professional wrestling. I am your host, the real Dwayne Allen. He is your host, Brian H. Waters. He is your host, has the third H to the A to the S, T to the H to the E,
Yes,
3
sir.
to the R to the D, brother Hugh.
Yes,
And we are in the building. You can follow us on social media. Follow us on social media, all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Wrestling Wrealm, 2 W's. Like, subscribe, and engage in the conversation with us. And you can also stream and download all our audio content on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. You can also watch and subscribe to our Twitch channel at The Wrestling Wrealm. If you want to support us, head over to WrestlingWrealm.com, where you can shop Wrestling Wrealm. Yes, t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, all the above. We will have we got a fall winter drop coming really soon, gentlemen. We got a lot of new tees, a lot of new stuff coming out. So if you want to support us, head over to WrestlingWrealm.com, where you can do that. Proud Wrestling Fan is one of the hottest tees out right now that represents kind of what we do and what we are. We're not wrestling fans that are quiet about it. We're proud wrestling fans. Also,
I saw we had some new flavors.
yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. But all right, it's there. So it is what it is. But also you can subscribe to our Patreon channel, yes, for exclusive shows and bonus content. Brian H. Waters does an excellent job of giving his thoughts on a number of things in professional wrestling. And before you know it, a new show will emerge known as Realness Reacts, where I will be unfiltered and unhinged and will say whatever the heck I want to say. And just because, bam, I don't know where we're supposed to fit this at, but it is what it is. This is what we do. This is just like all the recent thumbnails for our YouTube channel. So if you are looking for more Wrestling Wrealm content, that is the place you need to go. Gentlemen, that was all logistics. And
Yeah,
I think it's time for us to catch up with each other.
yeah. I was gonna say, speaking of making announcements, just Friday, dropping an interview with Miles Hawkins, MCW superstar coming up. He was in the Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal. He made a call out to somebody. Y'all may know a gentleman by the name of Khan from Shane Taylor Promotions. Yeah, he had some words to say to Khan. So y'all make sure y'all check that out this Friday. So and then the Clash. And well, I don't know if I probably won't do nothing on the Clash on the Patreon, but maybe after AEW. But I forgot Monday's Labor Day, so that
Sure is.
So you know what that means? That's an opportunity to create content, brother. But yeah, everything's good on this end, y'all.
Hey man, like I said, like I'm always doing. You already know I'm in the cut like a bandage, just chilling, man. Hey, bro. I don't do too much. I don't say too much.
Did they even catch how smooth that was?
Only brother Hugh. Only brother Hugh.
That's what I'm talking about. He said in the cut like a bandage.
Mm-hmm.
Only you, brother Hugh. Only you. If you're not the coolest guy on the show, I don't know who is. Only I'm in the yo. That was tough. Like a bandage.
Thanks.
What did you guys get into this week? I know we watched our normal stuff, but I know usually we kind of watched some other things to kind of get our mental wrestling inner wrestling kind of focus going for the show. What did you guys kind of get into besides our regular scheduled programming?
Well, I actually have one because there's a pay-per-view taking place in the UK. I wanted to go back and look at some old school stuff. So I got on No Mercy 99. Main event, Triple H and The Undertaker challenging Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWE Championship in a triple threat match. And it was so cool because the show opens up with the corporate ministry coming out, and then Shane McMahon makes this bombshell announcement that he's going to be the special guest referee. So right now, the Brood just took on the Acolytes and Midian, and Shane McMahon is mouthing about something. But yeah, this is very heavy. I told you 99 is like one of my favorite year in the Attitude Era. So this is like right during the summer of 99 where they're like punishing the Brood and stuff for not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but I've been stuck on Heel Austin from 2002.
That's early.
Yeah. Like
you mean late, not early.
Yeah, late, late Heel Austin. I'm like, he was so annoying. It was annoying as hell, but it was funny. Like him, Kurt Angle, their chemistry was impeccable, and they made that show at that time. So I mean, even working with Vince McMahon, because they were all hanging together at that time. Man, I was just like, man, this is crazy. But yeah, that's what I've been just been tripping off Austin, honestly.
No doubt. I mean, that's a lot. It's funny to hear Austin talk about that run. You know what I mean? And how in being a Monday morning quarterback, he looks back at it and says, maybe I probably shouldn't have did that. But like you said, it was a lot of entertaining aspects to it, and it gave us a different wrinkle into the Stone Cold Steve Austin story. Definitely want to send a special thanks and a special shout out to those wrestling girls for joining us last week on our show. It was definitely a pleasure for see brother Hugh. There you go. I'm trying to be like, and he wasn't me. Nope. I'm just this is what I do. I just immediately take myself out of the equation.
They know I'm playing. See,
they feisty and they get fired up. But like I said, we want to send a special thank you to those wrestling girls for joining us on our show last week. We had a blast, as we always do. It's always easy to kind of navigate when family's involved, and that's kind of the situation we have today. Brother Hugh, you didn't get a chance to, so thank you once again, ladies, for joining us on our show, and hopefully we can do it again soon. Brother Hugh, we didn't get a chance to discuss about your time on the In or Out debate show with Drew Willingham.
Oh yeah, man, I had a ball.
Like I said, I had a lot of fun. But tell us about your time with Drew. Like I said, Drew was like one of the brothers. You know what I mean? And he kind of fits in. First of all, he grew up the same generation that we did, so he fits in exactly what we did, man. But man, I had a blast being on the show, and I know you did too, man. But I know you weren't there early enough to have a get a chance to talk about it. So talk about your time on the In and Out Sports Debate show with Drew Willingham.
Oh, I had a blast, man. Like from the jump when I first met him and we just started talking, it was just shenanigans right off top.
Yeah. Big shenanigans.
Like I said last time, I was like, look, Dwayne's gonna like this, man, because you came on right after me or whatnot, and I was just
Yes,
like,
indeed.
we're gonna have fun with this one, and I had a ball. He's hilarious. All of the drops, everything, man. Like very knowledgeable about pretty much all of sports. My only question to y'all is, who's the best number 39? Who's the best to ever wear 39? Roy or Larry Zonka?
Out of all the numbers, you decided to pull up 39.
No, that's the episode I was
No,
on.
I know you was on 39, but it's like that's a tough one though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I was just like, me being a baseball guy, I gotta go with Campanella.
That didn't surprise me when I saw that. I was expecting that. I was definitely expecting that. But I think there's more there's more successful baseball numbers in 39 than almost any other sport though. No, man, but that's good though, man. I'm definitely glad you had a great time on that show. We're definitely going to find a way to kind of bring Drew on because I had a blast on there. It's probably the funnest show I've ever been on. And he's so talented. He does it on his own. You know what I mean? And like I said, if you have not heard of the In or Out Sports Debate with Drew Willingham, I'm trying to tell you, he's going to be a household name, and you better get down while you can because pretty soon he's going to have to start turning people away.
Yep. Stop playing around. Stop playing around and follow the man.
I mean, definitely. If you can follow him on social media, by all means. And speaking of brothers, we got one on today.
Man. It's not a fan of the Stankies, man.
Not a fan of the Stankies. Demarus Dye of Dye Sporting Network, man. Demarus Dye is one of the good brothers. He's been up and down the road with us for many, many years now. A portion of the Flex Zone, but he's most recently branched out into his one of the most sought after high school sports coverage analysts and producers in the DMV and soon to be national. Demarus Dye is a huge wrestling fan. I mean, he knows his stuff. He's been somebody we talk to on the regular basis. And today he is joining the brothers as we sit there and we break down kind of what's been going on this week, what's coming up next. So ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you.
Real quick. My bad.
Go ahead before I go to the movie phone for you.
Quick shout out to him, man. He's helped me out with a lot of work, and
you guys do. I keep forgetting you guys work hand in hand together. Yep.
Yeah, we tag team some events every once in a while, and he's putting out some great stuff. So make sure y'all subscribe.
He helped me realize a dream come true. I got to call the City Poly game with him. Like anybody know that's a big deal. Like it's me, somebody being a lover of the craft of broadcasting. So I'm happy to bring this brother on.
Right,
absolutely.
He did the little Poly City game. But
wow, I said City Poly.
Wow.
Yeah,
I see what you did there. I see how you flipped it.
Who got the lead though?
I ain't going to school.
This where he go with. This where he go. I ain't going to leave school. I ain't going to leave school.
Yep.
No. If you guys,
I'm a fake Cardinal.
A fake Cardinal?
Yeah.
For
Marquise Brown.
For those that don't know, brother, he was also one of the most talented, sought after photographers in the area. He does a lot of the sports photography. He definitely is the personal photographer for the Maryland Nighthawks, right?
Baltimore Nighthawks.
Baltimore Nighthawks. How long you been with them?
What, 5 to 7 years now?
Yeah, it's been a run. Like I said, he has been well traveled. Like I said, locally, high school, college, professional ranks. So if you are looking for a sports photographer, and even in other areas of photography, hazmat photos.
I mean, look what he did for Black when we went to Black Russell Fest. Those right there,
big time. It's a every major image you see most likely has had his fingerprints on it or his DNA around it, and that's saying a lot. So we got a lot of talent here, but like I said, we're gonna definitely as we continue to bring our talented friends in the mix, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Demarus Dye of Dye Sporting Network and the Flex Zone. D.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Welcome to the show, brother.
What's up, D?
Hey, how y'all tonight? Hold on, let me.
Okay.
Got it. There we go.
Oh, we back.
Y'all back on? We good to go?
Yeah.
All right. How you feeling, brother? Man. Welcome to the show, man.
I'm feeling good, man. Welcome to this new edition of the Wrestling Wrealm here now. I like it, man. It's cool.
Podcast, man.
In person. Don't get me wrong. I do watch and listen to the show when I can from time to time, but seeing it in person that's what's up, man. And appreciate everybody checking us out tonight. And we're about to get the show on the road, as they say.
Yeah.
This is Dio Damas.
Yes, Dio Damas, baby.
Yes,
So,
indeed, man.
so I was on with my guy, God's number one host, Byron Dixon, tonight. And we was doing the Flex Zone live stream for AEW, and it was a very lackluster episode of Dynamite. No Dynamite was floating tonight. Very lackluster episode. Didn't get you really ready for the pay-per-view. But it's good to be back on my guys on the Flex Zone. Had to drop away for a little bit. I'll be still back and forth, but not as
Hollywood
much.
Rock.
You know.
He's Hollywood Rock.
Oh no, here you go.
Oh, he's a part-timer, man.
You part-timer.
Yeah, I'm a part-timer at the moment. I become John Cena. Become the Rock.
See. Look at
it's a shame.
Hey man, but listen, tell the audience kind of a little bit of who you are and what you do, and then just pretty much how long you've been a wrestling fan and how what has brought you to this point. I mean, I first of all, you got a crazy story, and I know it's something that we can't really dig to. Like, we got to do a full feature on you at some point, man. But just like I said, for the audience that may not be familiar with you and what you do, tell the people who you are, and what are you doing with Dye Sporting Network and the Flex Zone and so on and so forth.
Well, with Dye Sporting Network, we started about 12 years ago. It was content that kind of needed to be needed for kids and high schoolers out there, man. And we started covering the high school beat, and it's rolled on throughout the DMV now. He was saying earlier, he's definitely helped me out with a couple jams, and we try to bring the best action here in the DMV area, man. And it's been a fun journey. You get to see the stars of tomorrow now, and it's been great. Also doing Pro-Am basketball too. That's been kind of great. I see some of the guys that I covered over the years back doing stuff, and it's been a good journey, man. It's been a really good journey. But my wrestling journey started way back in the day. My uncle, man, my oldest uncle, Uncle Darren, his birthday's actually coming up on the 13th of September. But we used to watch wrestling all the time. He used to put me in the sharpshooter. We used to watch all that stuff. We used to watch The Undertaker. Brian, you was talking about SummerSlam '92. We watched that event with Bret Hart and the British Bulldog main event, man, and some of the great wrestling memories. It's been a cool deal, and been a wrestling fan ever since. I've been up and down with it over the years, but for the most part, I've been able to stay in the great sport of wrestling.
For people who don't know he's very critical of the business. Well.
Yeah, I can be.
Yeah, and this guy knows the stuff, which is why we have brought your expertise to the show tonight, because we got some things to really, really unpack, as we always do. Not to mention, we have an investigation to continue because we've got some new developments, but we'll get to that soon. But D, we're going to start with you. How can I say this delicately, Brian H? Tune up the band. What's your thoughts on AEW currently? You don't have to explain like where it started to where it is now, but I need somebody else's opinion. Okay, you said you just finished a watch along with you and Byron on the Flex Zone. I need you to tell me and tell the world, what is your opinion of AEW's current product? Talk to the people, please.
We're about at the 3-year mark of AEW now as a full whole. With Dynamite and everything, and actually we're over 3 years because they started in May of 2019, right? So the show itself started in 2019, later that year. So, so it's a lot going on. I said this a while back.
He's taking his time. You see
the W. We said this on the Flex Zone and off of there and on the chat too a while back.
Look, Uncle Rod is watching.
We got on the WWE a lot. It was a lot of boringness while a certain chairman was in board. He's been removed now. But I said at the time, AEW had a worse problem that could be on their hands because structure, especially up top, and then it shows on the show. The structure is all over the place, man. You look at this CM Punk and Jack Daniels Moxley, as I like to call him. Old Jack Daniels Moxley.
I thought you said you weren't calling him that anymore.
Dang it, after last week, I was pissed. After last week.
Why? Why was you mad at him though?
Got a 3-minute match, and now they want to have people to see this again in pay-per-view. Are you kidding me?
We're coming to you next, so that's why I was laughing. Like it's funny you
Are
saying
you,
that, but I'm
freaking
gonna let
kidding
D
me?
finish.
I don't know if y'all seen AEW tonight, people. But you see how they build it up? I'm gonna leave a contract in the ring. Here you go. I'm leave a contract in the ring. Home. CM Punk homeboy come get it. Punk.
I like A Steel coming out doing what he did. That was fun.
That was cool, but CM Punk, the promo he cut, it was like, I mean, compared to the promo he cut 2 weeks ago, this one was straight trash. I mean, it was 180 bad.
I told y'all. You hear what he said, everybody? I told you. He's critical. He holds no punches.
And I'm like, oh, it still come out, motivate Punk. He go in the stands, whoopee, but it's like the dude got beaten 3 minutes, and you want to see a rematch 10 days later? It's like,
hey, like I said on Twitter, as long as they're in Chicago, they're okay.
That's listen.
I said
I was thinking.
I said that tonight. I said if they wasn't in Chicago, this would have been crapped on.
Right. This man, he turns into Superman when he's in Chicago. My man was out there like Terry hawking up.
And then we heard, rumor innuendo that this is all Moxley's idea. I'm like, what? Listen to him. Of all people, I listen to him.
Well, listen, we all know Moxley. We all know Moxley's got a history, and brother Hugh, you make some very valid points about him being in Chicago. I'll say this to your point, brother Hugh, and then I gotta ask Brian H this because I need somebody to dissect this for your boy. When he gets these promos, I believe him. I really do. He delivers one heck of a promo, but I'm really stuck on this idea of what Moxley said to him a few weeks ago. He said, "You know what? You writing checks your body can't cash. Like you making promises that your body can't deliver on." Brian Ace, talk to me real quick. We're not gonna get too deep into it because we got a lot to get into today. But I need you to talk to me. Why did CM Punk get squashed by Moxley? And brother Hugh, just chime in wherever he drops off, because I'm trying to be unbiased, because remember I said I'm gonna say something nice about AEW every week. And I don't want you to think I'm against AEW. Okay, I'm trying to get involved. So I need the brothers. See, we gotta see this is what we do through text messages, ladies and gentlemen. You get a live look of text messages. This is the tech, like this is we have multiple text groups with different cohorts, and we have these conversations because we got to get to the bottom of these conversations. Brian H, talk to the people. Help me understand, along with everybody else watching. Why did Punk get smashed in 3 minutes by Moxley? Please.
I'm sitting there. I've been trying to think about this all week, right? Last week.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? All freaking week.
All week. Because last week, we had to jump right into our show. And let's be real, it was enough good things happening that it just didn't matter. Sure. We had a whole championship match in AEW, and we still didn't prioritize it for last week's show. Just to go show you how stacked last week's show was. But when I said, and I'm like, it's got to be a punishment. It just has to be. I'm sorry. He goes out there the week before and says what he says about Adam Page. Adam Page seems like he don't bother nobody. He just seems like he just want to come to work. He want to, and do his thing. And y'all know I'm not a fan of him in the ring, but as a human being, he seems like a good person. He's a good person.
Uncle Russ.
And he wanted to, he gonna crap on Adam Page, and it's like, you know what, Sam? Maybe. And what happened? All these Triple H promos that promos kept surfacing,
bro. They kept popping up left and right.
Popping up, and everybody just looking like, And so I just said, I think it was a punishment. I think Tony Khan had to remind him, no, I'm the head person in charge. So that's the only explanation I can have, because it still makes no sense. You're going to squash your world champion, right? Your world champion. Take the strap off of him for free in the middle of a show that I can DVR, go back and watch when I want to. No, better yet, the clip is Instagram length that you can run the whole match on Instagram.
Wow. It is.
And then I'm supposed to pay for this as the main event? That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like that is literally, and I'm sorry, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my 36 years of watching wrestling. Yes, I said 36.
Bad, that's bad.
That's really worse than the poke of doom.
Oh, wow.
Poke of doom.
That is worse than the poke of doom.
I don't even know where to even begin with that. But you know what? You make valuable points. But Brother Hugh, I need you to speak on this. Something that D said. D, this is something you brought up. You mentioned the fact that Punk lost, but yet you saw such an emphasis on it tonight as of this recording, Wednesday Dynamite. And it was this emphasis on like, wait a minute, did they just do all this just to try to like throw away a TV match to sell you the pay-per-view because you know it's going to be back in Chicago because they want that match to be the big match and this was like a throwaway? Brother Hugh, was this like the quickest turnaround of, hey, listen, let's just throw this in away so we can sell it bigger for the pay-per-view? But it's like that was a quick 2-week turnaround as in regards to, okay, we're going to squash the guy, unify the titles. Why not just wait and have that same promo and just do the match in Chicago instead of having him lose and then have the fight again, instead of just maybe the match goes to a no contest, just qualification, whatever the case may be. But
Hangman Page better came out. Something.
Yeah, Hangman Page could have added a wrinkle. Even him showing up would have just added a different wrinkle. He may have done nothing but the mind games. So tell me, does D have a point when it comes to what he said in regards to, did they throw this away just to sell the rematch on purpose? And he's frozen. Okay. He had to get out.
He just froze. Listen,
he had AEW is so raw that it froze Brother Hugh's picture, and now he's got to sign out and sign back into the show. He can't even speak on the situation because of how bad it is.
He can't even speak on it. He can't speak.
But D, talk to me. Since we'll wait for Brother Hugh to get back in, but until he gets back in, help me understand, D. Do you really think they try to pull this off as like a stunt? Like, okay, well, listen, we'll have a squash match here. We'll get people really mad about it, and then we'll do the rematch at All Out in Chicago because, like Brother Hugh said, in Chicago, CM Punk can do no wrong.
I'm assuming that's it, man.
You look at a loss of words. Why are you at a loss of words?
It's
Demarus Dye is never at a loss of words, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just about, because I'm like, it don't make sense as you come back on. Have him answer the question there,
Brother Hugh.
Yeah, yep.
D kind of alluded to something like, hey, like, don't tell me these guys just booked a squash match just to resell it, the rematch to you at All Out in Chicago because of, like you said, CM Punk does no wrong in Chicago. He turns to Superman. Please tell me that Tony Khan didn't do this on purpose just to sell a pay-per-view buy rate. Talk to me,
man. It makes sense. If you think about the stuff that Tony Khan has done before, it makes perfect sense.
Oh, jeez.
It does. First of all, Moxley was in Ohio, his so-called hometown. He wasn't in Cincinnati or whatnot, but
sure,
he won the belt there. And then you just pump it up. You just pump it up. Oh, you got CM Punk coming out talking like he's getting ready to retire and give up this and that, whatever. Then you have his friend come out and hype him up, and Chicago goes wild. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm gonna sign a contract. Here's your match all of a sudden. It makes perfect sense, bro.
Dude, I was shocked because listen to me. I believe the promo, gentlemen. I was like, whoa, they still comes out slapping CM Punk around, and CM Punk, he goes into the crowd like, you're not a wild thing. And he goes out there, and I was like, yo, I'm buying it. But I'm just like, dude, I know for a fact he's going to get in that ring, and I know it's just not going to deliver. I've never been.
We didn't see that 3 minutes. We've been fine. We seen the 3 minutes,
and that's what I'm saying.
I already knew what time it was when he walked out and he was chilling. He walked out with his hands in his pocket like nothing ever happened. I said, man, you could at least got a crutch or something and act like
something.
Like Bret Hart did that time.
Yeah, like I was like, they really did this. They really did this. Okay, all right, that's what we're gonna do.
Well, okay, gentlemen, it looks like a cheap cash grab. But listen. I said it before. I'm not here to bash AEW. You hear me, Uncle Raj? I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to get real justice. So, gentlemen, let's end this on a positive note. All right, let's do what we always do. Let's show the world what the brotherhood is often about.
I was just thinking.
Go ahead.
That Triple H stuff got him
nervous. There you go.
It's got him nervous. It's got Tony nervous.
Listen, we got a loaded weekend. We have a loaded international weekend.
And guess what? AEW's last.
It's a little hot for him. It's a little hot.
It's gonna be too hot. We're gonna be burnt out.
Listen to me. These WrestleMania shows. Go ahead, Brian H.
They in the UK.
I know. They're in Cardiff, Wales.
They're not in the United States.
Show.
That's a difference,
right?
You know, that's a difference. Shout out to Kofi Weaston of the Dirty Heels.
Dirty Heels in the building.
Yeah. Also, want to give a shout out to my boy Matt Reichel in the building as well. He told me last week. He said, "Bro, I'm watching y'all live this week." So shout out to him.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. Matt's old. We go back from ROH back in the Dewburns days. So
oh wow,
yeah,
okay.
he been
OG.
Right.
I think I did. Yeah, I think I did meet him when I went with y'all.
Yeah, but man, how in the world, yo, how you gonna compete? Not Vince taking WWE to the UK. Triple H.
That's a different animal.
Bro, we getting Ricochet,
animal.
Carmelo Hayes. What can compete with that? You know how long? You just say the thing somebody said, light skin Austin versus Rock.
There it is. Battle of the light skins.
That's it, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Brian, and we'll dive into it later. But that's what to me what NXT 2.0 was missing, like those veterans.
Yeah,
and the incorporation of like those guys to make the younger guys. Like I'm not I've been saying I'm harder on all the black guys, right? Because I feel like I need those guys to be superstars because it seems like it's harder for black guys to become superstars. And I'm like, I don't want them to be carbon copies of stereotypes. Like if I'm okay with the swag and stuff, but I need you to make it your own because we've seen The Rock, right?
Absolutely.
So, but when I saw the matchup between him and Ricochet, I said, okay, this is what I need to see.
The show.
They definitely closed the show. That's going to be $1 million.
I know we're gonna get there. I can't wait to get into that.
Bro, the show is loaded, fellas. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Let's get rid of this AEW talk, man.
So we have the Wednesday night wars on Sunday.
Yes,
listen to me. That's what's going.
The week before football.
Triple H is going to get his get back. See, we thought he was taking out Vince. Like everything about. Remember, Triple H was hurt and he was sick. And he was trying himself together, and Vince tried to do it. He took Vince out. You feel me? He went back and redid everything. I'm sure he'd forget about the Wednesday night wars. Now he's like, all right, cool. Now Vince is out the way. Tony, I'm coming for you. No, I'm not gonna go there.
Oh no, wait a minute, Booker. Booker H.
So, but like I promised, let's end on a positive note. With 30 minutes in, let's end on a positive note, gentlemen.
Is there really anything positive?
No, but just at least the conversation can be D. You feel me? This is how we talk. We're gonna try to do something right.
We got Goldberg now.
Oh boy, see,
they got Goldberg in AEW now.
Is Goldberg in AEW?
Yeah, you ain't see it. You ain't see his whole entrance.
Oh, okay.
It was like from the back, and everybody Wardlow. I said, "Come on, for real."
They really did. Listen, I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's not the positive thing I said. He said Goldberg in the back. No, that's crazy. But I'm glad you mentioned Wardlow. Who should contend for the AEW Championship next? Don't try to make it make sense. don't try to book it. Just from one fan to the rest of the good brothers. Tell me, everybody, just name somebody you feel should at least contend. I'm not saying they gotta win it. I'm saying it should at least be in contention because we talked about it last week that sometimes just being in contention for a title, it puts you in the upper echelon of superstar in whatever wrestling company you're performing for. Brian H.
Bryan Danielson.
Well, that's
Bryan
easy, but
Danielson.
okay.
And here's why, real quick. Here's why.
I'm gonna tell you why I made a mistake because it doesn't make sense, and I want you to make it make sense after I said don't try to make sense of it. But go ahead, brother. I just said don't try to make sense of it.
It's
I'm
real
like, wait
simple. Claudio has the ROH championship. Oh shoot, never mind. They in the same group. I just
see.
No,
listen,
all right, no, I got it.
That's what I said. Don't make it make sense. They're like, wait a minute, bro. Make it make sense. But go ahead.
Obviously, Punk beats Moxley. He takes him out. And then Danielson, like, he gets to get back, and then boom, he's the best wrestler in the world. So
Moxley's not dropping that strap. He might go on another 30-day vacation.
All right, so then we gotta go Jericho.
No, listen. No, pick. Don't appease me. I just want to see what everybody's opinion is. But
I'm sticking with Danielson though.
No, Danielson's a smart move. I'm sticking with
like
I said, I shot myself in the foot because I'm like, well, make that make sense. But it's like now you got to make Punk win. But I just don't think he's healthy enough.
Yeah.
Brother Hugh, who should contend for the AEW Championship next?
Baby Ziggler.
Really? You gonna ride the zigzag train all the way to AEW?
No, I'm just playing. I'm not that crazy.
You like Sammy in the Bloodline right now.
I get on your homie Hugh in a moment. I'm gonna get on him in a moment.
Oh, here we go.
See, there it is.
Get on him in a moment.
I would like to see. Honestly, I would like to see Miro get the push.
This is a bad idea having this conversation. Trying to make all this make sense.
Hey man, I would love to see that, but But honestly, who's the hottest star that you built in the company?
That's the
Wardlow.
problem.
Wardlow.
Nobody high.
It
Yeah.
only makes
Wardlow.
sense.
He's the
Give him
only
the
one.
push.
Like
Give him the
that looks like
push.
a main event guy.
He doesn't need that whatever belt he has right now because I didn't even
TNT
know he
title.
still had a belt.
I
mean,
did too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, get rid of it, build somebody else up, and have Wardlow take care of that belt right there.
I don't
Come
mind
on,
a double
man.
champion. Look at D. D's reading comments. D. Who should contend for the AEW championship? Taekwon's in the building.
There's only one. It's one guy that hasn't been there. His name has been spoken of. He can get in his ladder match Sunday, win the ladder match, go to where they plan the United States Open at, where the great Serena Williams won again tonight, and get the title finally. His name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, better known as MJF.
Okay.
That's who needs the title. You need a heel to get things going.
I think AEW needs that at this point. I think they need as much positive buzz, especially after such a volatile. Wait a minute. Did Ace Steel cuss on AEW tonight too? And he slapped him? I thought I heard a couple F-bombs, but I don't know. It could be me.
He might have. I wouldn't be surprised.
You know, I told him not to cuss on air now. They told not to cuss.
That's what I was thinking. But listen, see, I'm doing a good job. We're talking. We said something positive. You know what I mean? We're just trying to help. We're just trying to have enjoy AW make it make sense. Anyway, moving on, gentlemen. Let's move on to the E. That seems what's hot right now.
Enjoy all your matches during AEW Sunday. They got like 25 of them. 25
I mean, there's always 25 each week. They're just on dark. I mean, there it is. You heard the yes chance from Daniel Brunson.
I'm not. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's go on ahead.
They had Silas Young jobbing out today. I know he's old as hell.
I was never a fan of his though. He just wasn't for me.
Well, we have the right to speak on Silas Young because we got front row seats.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Being Ring of Honor. Hey, speaking of front row seats, hey, Has the third. You remember when D came with us to Ring of Honor and he met Faye Jackson for the first time? We're gonna move on. All right, listen. Like I said, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna
go there. Okay, we're not gonna go there.
We got other people.
You should have came last week. Maybe she would have had you broadcast the Battle Royal.
I didn't say that. I left it alone. He's still going.
Jump off.
Yes. So
whole lot of shaking going on.
Yeah.
Well, you said shaking. I'm looking at Sable on my screen.
These telling on themselves right now. I'm not going to go there though.
There wasn't much there.
Yeah. But okay. Well, more names have been restored in WWE. Let's start there. This is like
names.
Austin Theory is back. Matt Riddle. Are we looking at Tommaso Ciampa? Gentlemen, does it make sense or does it matter that these guys have their names restored? Personally, I think it does because I'm like, I understand a Cesaro and I understand a Neville with the kind of the European names. They can kind of stand on their own, but like if your name's like Jim Bob and then like your name's just like Bob all of a sudden, they kind of throw things off for me personally. But what do you guys think?
No, I agree. I think the syllables chanting, like Austin Theory, if he becomes a baby face, it's easy to chant Austin Theory versus Theory. Ed said that about him. He said if he would go back and do it, he would have had a 2 or 3 syllable name. Sure. So, Ciampa, same thing,
I
Matt Riddle.
Better. Yep.
Yeah, so it's just like, just let him have it, especially when you get used to it. When you get used to calling these people that's the issue.
Sure. Especially after you make a name for yourself. That makes sense. Right, Brother Hugh, what do you think? Does it make a difference that with the one names, or are you happy that
it just sounds
we all do, Brother Rod? Sorry.
Right, yeah. it just sounds better. Like you said, it rings. Mm-hmm. It rings. I mean, it's better for promotion, honestly, for me.
I know who name. I think we getting back though. I think you're going there soon though. I'm just wait.
Tell Brian H.
Tell Pete Dunne, man.
Yes, indeed.
I got this feeling. I'm trying not to get to the Clash. That's how excited I am.
But I got listen. We're trying to breeze through it because we're gonna take as much we're making good time and we can spend as much time on that latter part of it. But trust me, go ahead. Go ahead and
looking at those like promo videos and stuff. I just got a gut feeling that something gonna happen either Saturday or Sunday, and he gonna get restored back to back to his roots.
Now it's funny you mentioned that because we're recording this on August 31st, 2022, as of this Wednesday before SmackDown. So we still have some probably some last minute details to kind of go over. And I know that this Friday, as of this recording, we're gonna have Ludwig Kaiser versus old Butchie. Old Butchie, right? And I'm saying to myself, okay. I like the dynamic, kind of like the side guy versus the side guy, but they've been kind of teasing something, and I'm trying to figure out how. Here's where my mind is going. How in the heck are they going to get Pete Dunne from being Butchie and go back to being Pete Dunne?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
I'm like, okay, let's. So what they do? Here's Triple H. What you have now is my attention. Right. So in areas where I probably would have just not paid it in mind because it was a showcase match. Now you've got me invested, which is one of the things that I think Triple H does well these days is you've got me invested. I'm watching every move of old Butchie because I'm trying to figure out what is he going to do or what's going to happen or what's going to cause the shift or change from being kind of a lackey to being a standalone star that everybody knows that he can be. D, talk to the people.
Well, with Butch, the artist formerly known as Pete Dunne.
Yeah, the artist formerly known as Pete Dunne.
They might can do this. Start with his clothing. Put him back in that traditional gear he had. I mean, they're going to be overseas over the weekend. Worlds Collide is going to be overseas too, correct? It's going to be overseas too. Was that here in the States?
No, that's here, right? I think it's here.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe it's here. That's
a
very
question.
How do we not know that?
Anyway, Sheamus is fighting Walt. I call him Walter. I can't call him Walter.
Does Walter get his name back too? You think? What if he comes out as Walter?
Nah.
No.
Hey man,
you gonna ride the Gunther train?
Yeah, I think he's over his Gunther now. So
yeah, I'm conflicted. But go ahead, D. You're right. Hold that thought, brother Hugh.
If they can kind of make his dress different, slowly integrate him in, and then maybe he come out during the wrestling match, he come out straight as Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is back. Because McAfee slipped up once on SmackDown and said it. He said it once. Hey, we might can slip it in, but
I'm thinking something stupid happens, like he hits his head and be like, shakes it off, like, huh? And then, Butch, he's like, who's Butch?
That'll work. That'll work too. That'll work.
Yeah, something silly. But brother, you mentioned something. You said Gunther. You think he's over as Gunther now? I know we were very reluctant. I know I led the brigade because I was the first one to let you know that his name is Walter.
There it is,
Walter.
That was the first. That was the first thing I was saying. But the reason I'm not tripping about it is because the presentation has been relatively the same. And Vince was removed before he had a chance to ruin it. So we can talk. I talk now because guess what? Triple H is in charge. But you said you think that the name Gunther is over. I'm not as resistant to it because it's like I prefer Walter, but I remember Walter as like Walter. But I see Gunther, it's like, well, he's the same guy, but it's a different run. Do you think? Do you think there's a need for the change to go back to Walter like everybody else, or are you comfortable where he is now? Because you said you're starting to perceive that you think that he's over.
Not with him because like you said, he's the same guy, but it's a different look. It's a different character.
It's a more evolved, different.
Right? Yeah. He's smaller. He's smarter. He's the ring general for a reason. So like he kind of grew into that name, and like I said. For a while now, you don't hear anybody saying anything about Walter. The crowd is not saying anything about Walter anymore.
They were right about us being fickle wrestling fans. Remember, Road Dogg, like, dude, they're not gonna worry about this in a month and a half. And god dang it, they were
blast Brian Danielson for that. Blast him.
Am I tripping? Or does he have new music?
Bro, it sounds like he has new music. I don't think it's the same.
Gunther, it's not the same music.
It's been an overload of music.
Okay. Because he actually had symphony music.
Yeah. That symphony sounded. Yeah. No, that's. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I would say it's definitely been an overload of music. But the thing about Gunther is like you said, the presentation. If they'd have brought him up and let's just say they made him like
hip hop act.
Yeah, a hip hop act. But if they, if they gave him the Veer treatment or the Moss treatment, it would have been like, yo, no, we want our Walter back. But because they came in, they established him as a main player. The fact is, we're happy that this former UK champion is being treated as a top guy.
Big time.
So because he's treated as a top guy, we're fine. So I think, wrestling fans, we are fickle, but if he would have been treated just as like just some random act on the roster, then we would have been mad and still say, no, we want Gunther back. So that's why I think Walter back. That's why I think this works.
Kind of almost like how Tommaso Ciampa was being treated at first, but go ahead, D.
Yeah. I was going to say, to Brian's point, it's like Karrion Kross. He came in, got treated bad.
Changed them completely for no reason. It's like, dude, it was
right.
He almost spit his water out. Nigga, Brian Days almost spit his
That was the worst. That was the worst, bro. You remember we was on the text machine. That one, man. That was the worst.
But this dude can't keep up, though. Did you hear what Drew McIntyre said to him? An hourglass doesn't go TikTok. What do you say after that? He just took his whole thing bar for bar and ruined it.
Yo, I thought about Adam Cole all over again. Like, bro, stop burying me on TV, brother. We're supposed to be in this together. Like, you're killing me. But
exactly.
I was like, that's
Adam Cole promo was the death. That was death.
Oh, that was terrible. He killed. He killed Cross. That was. And he just sitting there and meme like this.
That's all you can.
I'm like, dude,
like,
nah. Hey. I said that's some old Shawn Michaels stuff. He was like, hey Shawn, now what should I say? And Shawn's probably back there like, all right, now what you do is you go here and then you just rip him. But
that was worse than Shawn Michaels' Sunny Days comment.
It was.
If we want to be real.
Bad. When I saw that, I was like, yo, that's a little bit below the belt. But Brian, this isn't in the rundown, but you mentioned somebody in particular. You mentioned Veer Mahan.
Yeah.
Now you gentlemen are all familiar with Veer Mahan, correct? Have you seen his photos outside of wrestling?
I've
recently
seen a couple, like he's in like the suits.
See, like his social media photos, his regular stuff. That is a pretty man. I'm saying to myself,
hey, straight
dude,
up, I ain't even gonna lie.
He looks like a main event player, dude.
Yeah.
I said, why? I get the traditional culture stuff. I'm with it. Like I'm okay with it. But I'm like, dude, if you let that man come out there with a suit on, with some shades, and like just let him be himself how he's dressed. He is a top guy. I'm telling you, the ladies will go crazy for him. I'm trying to tell you. I saw Veer Mahan. I said, dude, why don't they let him just look like that?
He's
like
fresh,
he looks
bro.
like he is fresh. He's clean. I was like, his hair is pulled back. I said, yo, I think that has a better look, but we can get into that a different day.
He's been off TV, so maybe they might be repackaging him.
Hey man, listen to me. I think when you look at his lifestyle stuff, I said this dude looks like a model. Like he looks rich. He looks like a model. I said, man, I know you guys want to go with the traditional stuff, but I don't think he needs to do that. Like, I mean, like if you want to make him like this, kind of like Jinder Mahal's original gimmick when he was kind of this rich aristocrat.
That's what I was about
India,
to say.
I think he fits that mold just quite nicely. So WWE, if you pay attention and we see it on television, you owe us a phone call.
I mean, those people, like the ladies, are beautiful. Over there, it's like, bro, if you want to sit there, and we're gonna just do this real quick, just so people know we not tripping, just real quick, like this
Look
dude,
at that man.
But they got him dressed the way they do, but like this dude will sell tickets.
He look like a better version of Roosh, man. He look like a better version of Roosh.
Listen to me, and that's how he reminds me. Like that man shows up. He's not there to play no games. You saw the fit, you saw the shoes, you saw the pose. That wasn't by mistake. That brother is intentional. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. But like I said, listen, talk to your boys. We need some money.
Right.
As we move on, gentlemen, Roman Reigns celebrates a milestone, 2-year milestone as Universal Champion. Talk about what you have seen from Roman Reigns in his last 2 years compared to what was kind of force-fed to us early on in his career, and just kind of chronicle like where you became kind of a fan, where you kind of fell off, and kind of where you picked up again. Because two years as champ is very special. Roman's at the top of his game. They're preserving him. He's pretty much working a part-time schedule, and there's so much talent on the roster that he can miss pay-per-views and weekly TV and then not really hurt money or ratings. So, I mean, that's a true sign of a superstar.
No doubt, man.
Hey, that's so true though.
Right.
I have not seen a more accurate statement today. That's very
that is on point 100%.
I'd definitely be in there like this, like
one of them guys. Like, listen, you got this. Like
right.
on the YouTube ads. Hey, you. I'm talking to you. You want to quit your 9 to 5?
Right. This is what I love about the show, because we're gonna bring the shenanigans on the screen, but it'd be just as much shenanigans.
Bro, this is what goes on in the text messages.
If y'all out here watching and on demand, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you got to be here at 10:30 or 10:40 every Wednesday night, because it's a party in the chat. That's Wrestling Wrealm style since 2011, baby.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all definitely keep the show fun. Y'all keep it lit, man. This is just funny. But D, Roman Reigns, celebrating 2 years as Universal Champion. It's not easy to do, and he's hitting on all cylinders.
He definitely is.
About this recent milestone?
You talked about where I got kind of turned off on before this run was that Sucker and Succotash promo. And then the promo with Cena. Cena ran him down, man.
Yeah,
like Cena verbally ran him down. I was like, damn.
It was the gift that keeps on. Like remember when The Rock tore him a new one, he's like, I got you. I got something for your cousin.
I got something for him. Right. So when he came back and at the SummerSlam 2020, y'all was saying he was healed. I'm like, I don't know yet. I like the shirt. I like the look. But that SmackDown, because they had a pay-per-view right after that, which was weird.
No, next week, just to put the title on him.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
They should have called it Running Back. I forgot what it was called, but I think it was called like Battleground.
I think it was Payback.
This is during the pandemic era, the Thunderdome era, right?
Yeah, so they could just throw stuff on. Nothing else was on TV.
So he was talking with Adam Pearce. Yeah, it was. It was rough time, Jay. Big time. He was talking with Adam Pearce and turned around. And as I call him, Paul Heyman. When I seen Paul Heyman sitting with him, Paul Heyman, I said, "Oh snap! It's on now." And I knew that was
that was insane, brother Hugh. 2 years, Roman Reigns.
Hey man, they building this bad boy up like crazy. This 2 year celebration, because they know they're about to take one of them belts up off of them. That's all that is.
Okay,
but as a character, come on, man. What can you not say about Roman Reigns? You know what I'm saying? The tribal chief, man. Like, he's the man.
Look what Nina said. She said, "How long he been cheating? Because as long as he got the Usos, he's not losing that. I told you, he's not losing that title as long as his cousins are around."
Right.
How about Mike Quick when he was beating up Jey Uso? You gonna take the payday? You gonna take the A whipping?
right.
That's why D got to be on the show.
Hey, Jey Uso is the man, by the way, bro.
Yes, the heck he is.
Main event. Get his name right. Main event.
Jey Uso.
He's on a whole nother level.
The story arc from where they started to where they are now, like you can tell the tribal chief's story in an actual book, right? Because he came back, right? He made his presence known, and then he had to go get his family on board. He had to beat them into like, you guys are misunderstood. I'm doing this because I love you. Like, that was probably one of the most intense. And Brian, you can speak on this because this is the soap opera guy.
Hold on, you bet chill. They're gonna try to get us again.
No,
they get us some wrestling music.
They'll get us down.
Like, exactly, Tubester.
Right. God damn.
That's a code name because
just let us have a little fun. Golly.
Right. They don't want us to be great, Tubester.
It was like 10 seconds.
It was like just messed up my greatness. But where the story started from, like, first of all, one cousin was out and Roman's like, nah, this is what's best for our family. And he's like, nah, bro, you've been doing this when we was kids. We're not kids. And he's like, no, you don't get it. This is bigger than us. And they had a full feud, main event pay-per-views, all that stuff they did. And during the pandemic era, then Jimmy Uso comes back, and then he was kind of reluctant. And just from where they started to where they are now, like they won us over. We hated Roman. We were all anti-Roman guys for a long time and proud of it. But to see where they have kind of where his story has gone to, so many feuds, so many opportunities, he's had a chance, and now he's undisputed WWE Universal Champion. I mean, he has gone into a different stratosphere. And dare I say Cena-like. And it's I don't like it pains me to say that Vince was right again, because like sometimes he sees things before we do, and it's like no, and he wants to give it to us now, but it's like when you look at the build, because it was technically his build. Now Triple H is running the show now, but let's give credit where credit is due. Vince is responsible for Roman. He had a lot of dog years. Like when we were like, nope, we're not accepting it. But that's not the first time that's happened. When Bret Hart was first WWE champion, people didn't want to accept that because you go from Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, you know what I mean? Macho Man Randy Savage, Ric Flair, then Bret Hart. It was a different style that was representing your company because you had to change the image of what professional wrestling was becoming due to steroid allegations and all the negativity that followed it. And plus, a lot of those superstars were getting older and moving to WCW, taking bigger paychecks. People were resistant to John Cena, and then he changed the title with the spinner, but nobody took him seriously. He's a guy with jean shorts and rapping in jerseys, and Big G and the spinner changed. Even a guy like even the smaller guys like the Eddie Guerreros. You know what I mean? I wasn't a huge fan of Eddie Guerrero simply because of that very reason. And I've been able to grow and to love and appreciate what he did. But at the time as a kid, I was just like, that's not what I'm used to seeing. I grew up watching Eddie in WCW. I watched him in cruiserweight matches. I watched him, harass his nephew Chavo and force him into situations, and then all of a sudden now he's WWE champion. So sometimes those first runs are a little rocky, right? But you gotta kind of navigate through the dark waters to make sure that until you get established and your feet set and people take you seriously as champion. But definitely a shout out and congratulations to Roman Reigns for hitting his 2-year milestone as Universal Champion. But now we're going to a different championship conversation, and this is where we run into a little bit of controversy, gentlemen. We're making good time because we got plenty of time to talk about all this other stuff.
The foolishness.
Speaking of foolishness, the women's tag team title controversy. Ha! Let me ask you, brothers. This is how I have it pegged in the rundown. Okay. Oh my God. Was this intentional, or was this a beautiful mistake? In the parentheses, I have here, Sasha and Naomi agreed to new deals. I don't want to say it's confirmed, but it's probably all but confirmed. Now, I'm going to say what I originally said in the beginning was people are upset about what's going on in this tournament off breaks with the women, right? Now, from the very beginning, the realness was saying it doesn't really matter who wins. Whoever wins is not going to be somebody that's really, really good that's meant to be put over. I said because whoever wins is most likely going to do the honors to a returning Sasha and Naomi. Right. So it didn't really, I know it was meant to be like, okay, these are going to be the next ones up. But then Vince McMahon gets relieved of his duties. Triple H takes over. Sasha and Naomi decide to come back. I was like, bro, they're not just going to, in one situation where you may say, hey, maybe the intent was to create a new set of stars. But once you knew they were kind of willing to talk and come back, you knew you're going to go with them anyway. So whoever won this tournament was going to have to be fed to them. So I was like, I don't know why you guys were expecting like a Damage Control to be the new women's tag, because they're on an upwards trajectory. They're going up. You don't want them to lose to Sasha and Naomi immediately because, first of all, do you think anybody thinks they have a chance against them? They're fresh faces. Why would you bury them that way? That makes no sense. It's got to be talent that's going to be formidable, but not talent that you're disappointed in them losing. That was my perspective from the beginning. So when all this stuff happened, weeks gone past, and now we had the situation. Everybody thinks it's controversial. I'm like, if it's really so controversial, why are they filming things like, I wasn't the legal person and stuff like that, and people are in an uproar. But I don't know for sure, and that's the beauty of it. Brian H., women's wrestling, this is your specialty. Was this intentional, or was this a beautiful mistake?
I think it was intentional. I think everything you just hit it right on the head. At first, I was sitting there. I was like, okay, we all know who's going to win. Bailey's team's going to win, whatever. I'm going to be honest with you. I was sleepy Monday night, I'm like, I got to get up.
Bro, you too? I'm telling you.
There it is. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
No,
I was a little heavy too.
Yeah, it wasn't even the show. It was just like, it was a long day.
Brian, don't worry. I actually watched Monday Night Raw for the first time in a long time.
He was about to call it NyQuil.
And I went to sleep 10 minutes before the end of NyQuil. I went to sleep 10 minutes for the end. So I had to go back and watch that match over.
The reason why I say that, because like when when I didn't get what I was thinking was going to happen, it didn't bother me. And then when I said, like I tweeted, look, enjoy. Somebody's going to become new tag team champions tonight. If what you want to happen, don't get disappointed. You know, like I didn't think Sasha and Naomi was coming back, but I wasn't disappointed. But probably too because I was sleepy, you know. So while the internet's going on the uproar, I just like, wow, I don't understand this. And then, you know, like you said, I started thinking, and everything you said, I was like, oh, that makes sense. They're going to feed them the champions. Now, were they the original plans? Because we all know it's been some injuries and some swap out.
Exactly. Yep.
So that makes you think like maybe not. You know, then again, Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez. Well, those are two ladies who you've been trying to get going for a while. Exactly. Now you gave them a credible win. They got a championship under their belt. And you can never take that away from them. They are former champions in the WWE. And it makes sense. And then here's another thing. Bailey's team got their hands full. And we can shout out my boy Justin Rich, because he brought this to my attention. I was like, you know what? So give him credit. Because it makes sense. They got their hands full. Where's Sasha and Naomi? What roster was they on? SmackDown. Now, granted, the idea with the women's championships when they first brought them back was to be on every show, including NXT. But then NXT created their own set of titles. But I think it makes more sense to put them on SmackDown. I mean, look where Naomi's husband is. They are assigned. The tag team champions are assigned to SmackDown. They're just the universal, undisputed tag champions, so they're gonna be everywhere. But when they drop those belts, they're gonna be back over there. So overall, I wasn't disappointed. I think it's like you said. I think it was on purpose though, and we'll see whether it's the Clash. Sasha and Naomi come back. Maybe they come back at Extreme Rules. Seems weird because I just hope it ain't the horror show at Extreme Rules. You know, just make it Halloween Havoc for goodness sakes. But
NXT does don't they do Halloween Havoc, brother?
Yeah, but you know, I want it on.
Yeah, it's like NXT Halloween Havoc, right?
NXT does all the former WCW pay-per-views. They can do NXT
Starcade, the house show. You know,
all that.
The Great American Bash on NXT.
You know, I want the In Your House, them logos, man. But you know, regardless of what, I think Sasha and Naomi be back soon. I would love to see it. Wherever they come back, it's gonna be a pop, but I think it'll be back at a big stage. Don't wait. I don't want to wait till Survivor Series or Royal Rumble. I would love to see them come back Saturday.
They just got to do it randomly,
Yeah, kind of like Johnny G did. You know, he came back randomly to Toronto. He passed up Cleveland, where he's from. Everybody's like, oh yeah, most likely he's gonna be Cleveland, and then he comes out in Toronto.
Here's what I don't
mind you, they hinted at it too. You know,
they were teasing it all night.
Yeah, man. Like
it was all these.
Tommaso doing it, like come on, bro. But go ahead,
Corey Graves talking about sometimes you just gotta do it yourself. Like, oh come on, Corey Graves. I know what you're alluding to. Go ahead,
I just hope they don't. What I'm tired of the internet doing is telling people who booked the flight. Leave these people alone. Stop telling me
that's too much, bro. Leave them alone.
Yeah, like you know, we like this. We want to be surprised. You know, they booked a flight to Cardiff. Who knows? And then nothing happens.
There you go. I was going to hang out backstage. But
like be surprised. You like big birthday parties and all.
Wow. What about you, D? Is it a beautiful mistake, or was this intentional?
It's definitely intentional. Raquel, what was her name? Gonzalez Rodriguez. I forget.
Does she get her own name?
I'm not being sensitive. I just don't know. Just don't know. But
we need alliteration.
Right. But we can turn this another way.
Okay,
you know, if Sasha
it's ready to get good
and Naomi come back, Raquel Gonzalez can turn on Aaliyah. Leah's the weakest link. She the weakest link on the team, clearly. Raquel did all the work the other night.
Okay.
Turn into
every night.
Or
Rodriguez can turn on her, crush Aaliyah, move on, get the title off of Miss Liv Morgan, and be the next SmackDown Women's Champion.
Run a time. I'm glad we brought you on this goddamn show tonight. Go ahead, brother.
The problem with Aaliyah is she doesn't generate sympathy. Like Liv Morgan. Yeah, like a Liv Morgan generates sympathy. When Liv was chasing,
she was about to cry.
Yeah.
She did. She always looks.
Yeah, look, her arm got stomped and broke.
Yeah, and you feel bad for her. Even though you might not want her to be champion, and the fans start turning on her now. But during that chase, when Aaliyah was like winning these matches and stuff, people like, oh, okay, she beat Natty.
That's how I kind of was too. Brian, be honest with you.
Yeah,
she had the moments, but what's her name? That's off of TV right now. Oh God, Lacey Evans. Had them moments.
Yeah,
her night fight.
Who I think she could be due for a repackaging.
Another one because it's man.
Again.
Hey,
yeah.
But there's some photos she posted. I was like, oh,
hey now, okay, another repackage. Okay, mom. All right.
I think this was gonna be it though.
Yeah, but
well, they said Vince was a big fan of hers, by the way. Vince.
Look how many repackages JBL had before he became JBL.
That's true. That's very true. There,
that's very true.
That's very.
My man had the Justin Hawk Bradshaw.
Yeah, he had the Fu Manchu looking like one of the Black Jacks and
acolytes, Jacks, APA later.
Oh yeah, he was the Black
You're absolutely right. You remember? He was part of the new Black Jacks. That stupid Fu Manchu, and he wanted to be a Texas Cowboy.
Wyndham, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That sure was, man.
Black Jack.
Sure was.
But like I said, Justin Hawk, and you're right. I mean, it's not uncommon. No offense, Brother Hugh, your man Kane.
Yeah.
Dr. Isaac Yankem.
Isaac Yankem.
Fake Diesel. Finally worked on something. And the big red machine, the big red monster.
The Christmas tree dude from way back in the day.
Wow. This is you're dating yourself. Not for the young people find out your age. But yeah, man, I think repackaging is it's not a bad thing. It can prove very positive. It did well for John Cena and so many other people. But speaking of repackaging, AJ Styles is to me. This is just a quick note, gentlemen. We have to spend a long time on this. I just want to talk about it because it's AJ Styles.
Hey, it's your show.
I've seen some suspicious behavior from AJ Styles. Of course, sorry, heads. Dolph Ziggler and AJ Styles were in a match together against the Judgment Day. Against the Judgment Day. Because I know where this is going.
AJ was like, look, Ziggy, you taking this job tonight. You know what it's time for. You know what it's time for. Ziggy job does. Right on cue.
Do we got a breaking news thing?
Do we have a breaking news?
Sorry.
No, fine, go ahead.
All right, real quick. Fightful was just reported. Bobby Fish has been told his contract is not being renewed.
Ooh.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
I'm sitting there. I'm like,
why is everybody cutting him? Oh, you know why? You know why?
Did he say he go through?
Bro, he went in on CM Punk. Bro, he went in on CM Punk when he did on the finish of the match. When he kicked, he's like, Bobby Fish, I feel bad. First of all, Bobby Fish is older. He keep getting cut left and right. Triple H is like, come on home.
And then he wasn't he the one that said he would run through walls for Triple H?
He did. Yeah. He said that too. Yes, he did.
Triple H. Oh man, this is not. This is. Oh, you got the bomb, Brian. This is
I laughed.
Show.
I was like, man, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't got sounds for that.
Look, I was looking for like, yo, what the heck? We need a breaking news thing.
Right.
Come out.
It's one of those.
There's more turmoil on AEW. More turmoil.
Right.
So what's going to happen with? So what's the deal with Undisputed Era? What do they call themselves now? Since they broke up, they don't use
Undisputed Elite, right?
No, but they broke up. The Elite split from Undisputed Elite, so now they're not Undisputed.
What was
Elite
they called?
They didn't really have a name. Everybody kept saying they were going to tease a name, but then by the time they came up with something, they teamed up with the Young Bucks and they became Undisputed Elite. But Kenny Omega's back, so like, all right, well, we can just be regular Elite. You guys can go back to being. I know one thing. Roderick Strong is like, you know what? I don't think I want my release anymore.
Yep,
and now,
I'm good.
And now Bobby Fish's contract. Bobby Fish had a chance to be a single star in Ring of Honor, but he just couldn't cross that. He had a segment on the Ring of Honor called the Fish Bowl. That was his little talking segment. They were trying to get him going late in this time, but man, that threw things off for real. But talking about, see, now I gotta go. Hold on. Yo,
that's funny. That's my big man.
So that means no Red Dragon. Is this a rumor? Because what if Fightful was wrong? Like
it could be blame Sean Ross Sapp. He thought
but see, I like Sean Ross. Sean Ross.
Sapp been on point though. He been on point.
He cool.
He
He
has been
congratulated me
like,
when I got the job. I was like, oh,
no,
snap.
I like Sean. Yeah, he's the crazy part is though, he's probably pissed. I don't know last time he even had a match. Like, but
well, I'm saying they say August the 3rd was the last time he was on AEW.
I think guys are going to start trying to get fired on purpose because they want to go back.
Yo, they all about to bury Punk.
I think Matt Hardy's trying to get fired on purpose too. Like he's like, look, man, Triple H has been doing great things over there. It's amazing what the Hardys could probably do back home, but no. But it's like, okay, now what does that leave Kyle O'Reilly? Because Kyle O'Reilly's he's never been featured.
That's what I was going.
When Kyle O'Reilly first showed up in NXT, brother Hugh, he was a singles guy. Like he was the first one there before everybody was. And he was highlighted like, I'm Kyle O'Reilly. And then he just happened to get into Undisputed Era. And he happened to be in a tag team. But like in AEW, he was just off breaks tag team guy. He never got any mic time, just throwing a t-shirt, hanging out with Adam Cole, hanging out with Bobby Fish. And Red Dragon, I got no beef with Red Dragon. They're always a great tag team.
Solid. Yep.
Bobby Fish is older than everybody. That's the thing. Like he's not no spring chicken, but still, like he's still a good hand. I liked him in AEW. I said he fits. And this is before the Triple H era, but the Triple H era is on the main roster. Ladies, all right, we got to move
coming on strong, boy.
Listen, you came in for a good day, brother. I knew it was gonna be like this. This is a more relaxed situation, but AJ Styles, he's got this suspicious behavior going on in this match, and I saw something that I've seen a very violent AJ Styles before, right? I've seen him in New Japan. I've seen him, Ring of Honor. AJ Styles doesn't pull punches. He got to a situation where he had a chance to hit Finn in the back of his head, and he doesn't. He like stops himself, and I was confused. Like, wait. Now in the Triple H era of Monday Night Raw, you're freaking questioning and second guessing everything. I'm sitting there like, what's going on? Like, what? Now I saw Finn teasing him earlier like this with the two sweets. And I'm like, yo, what is he doing? And then I don't know what happened. He like slipped and he went like this and like paused for a second. And then I'm like, yo, what? And then at the end of the day, they end up losing. Zigzag takes the pinfall. Last week, sorry, Has. Last week we discussed color change. I'm like, bro, like you said, he was crip walking in blue.
Big cripping for forever.
Now he's in blue red all of a sudden.
Right.
We all know that Anderson and Gallows, their contracts are up as of I think this weekend, and they got a few dates. I mean, this is just rumor. A few dates in September for New Japan. Do you think this has anything to do with it? Do you think there's a future Bullet Club reunion going on? Because I don't know, that may feature Finn or what, but I don't know. I don't know how long the undisputed, the Judgment Day can last, because Edge is going to break them up, and I think the Judgment Day is in a space now where I think the faction has done their job. I think they have put Damian Priest in the right light. I think they've put Rhea Ripley in the right light where they can stand on their own 2 feet. You know what I mean? They work with two veterans in Finn and Edge. So they're getting all the tutelage, and then they're working with Ray. They're working with Edge. You know what I mean? And although they're not necessarily young stars, Rhea is. Damian Priest really isn't, but they're new faces, and I think they're established players now. Do you see a potential Bullet Club reunion like done right in WWE? Because I'm seeing heel AJ kind of show up a little bit. I'm like, AJ's about to turn heel again, because he didn't punch a bad guy in the head. Usually when a bad guy doesn't punch another bad guy, he's usually supposed to be a bad guy. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you guys thinking? I could be speculating because it's my guy. I don't know.
Nah, because I said the same exact thing. That was the first thing I saw. I was like, hold on. Did he just pull up? Like,
yeah,
why
like
didn't he hit Finn? Like,
he just like paused. Like he pulled. Like, I say AJ. First of all, I seen AJ almost knock the teeth out somebody's head. He don't pull no punches.
Right.
So I was confused, man.
I don't know.
And then my man Zigzag took the fall, and I was like, oh, they're gonna be beefing soon, because he's gonna be like, hey man, listen, I saw you. You pulled punches. What's the deal?
Right.
But
I'm cool with it though. You already know Zigzag can do no wrong. Except for those boots.
There you go. I saw you tweet about it. It's crazy. I saw it the day later. He's like, bro, go back to the white
boots, baby.
Bro, it's okay to be Shawn Michaels. It's okay.
Man. Give me the white boots and I'm okay.
But gentlemen, it's almost main event time. But we got one more thing before we wrap up the latter portion of the show. before we get into NXT Worlds Collide and Clash of the Castle. It's investigation time.
Oh boy.
Right, Nitch, cue the music. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dexter Lumis investigation continues. We have some new developments. We have some new information.
So we not gonna get the music or okay?
He's got to cue it up.
I'm just making sure.
There it
There we
is.
go.
You know, I'm producing.
There you go. No, he's multitasking. I want you guys to feel the vibe of the music because
Hold on, you got to pause like they do in the intro, just. Then they
There
walk
it
up
is.
and all just.
Yep. Because we've got to get to the bottom of this, gentlemen. In this Dexter Lumis investigation, we've got some new information. Like I said, we now know that Dexter Lumis seems to be after the Miz, but why? That's what we got to sit here and we have to figure out. What is it about the Miz that has Dexter Lumis so fascinated and has him hiding backstage? He's messing. He's in the Miz's head. We're seeing, if you watch Raw, we saw the second one. He's backstage 1 second. He's looking. He's not there anymore.
Something crazy just popped in my head, but go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm good. I want to know something crazy. Live on TV. Come on. What's
Because he has massive balls.
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
It's
All right.
It's an insider because it's an insider because I've been calling him Baby Heidenreich for like ever since he came back.
It's
Let
not
me
that it
read you a
doesn't make
poem,
sense.
Michael Cole.
That's Heidenreich's little brother, man.
It's
Like,
not that it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying. I was like, okay, all right, okay.
Afraid of the Marine franchise. Oh, God.
I mean, I don't know what Dexter Lumis is so obsessed with like, before we were trying to figure out who he was after, right? And we were trying to figure out, like, and here's how slick Triple H is. At first, they put all the same players in the same match, but they just like drag and drop. Like 1 minute Bobby Lashley faces The Miz, next minute he faces AJ, next minute he faces, and we could never figure it out. We now know it's The Miz. What is it about The Miz that Dexter Lumis is enamored with to the point where he's kidnapping him, he's stalking him, he wants a piece of, and it may be because of his massive balls. I don't know. All I'm saying is I'm here to investigate, and we need to get to the bottom of this.
I don't know how it's gonna play out storyline wise, but as far as production wise, it's second
to none right
it's
now.
on point. Like who am I gonna put him with? Who am I gonna put him with? Like that's one of the safest superstars besides Ziggy, to put him with. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, The Miz is doing an excellent job working with young talent, dude. Like, I don't get it. How could a guy be that good where you don't lose your main event status by working with new talent? That's a true sign of a superstar in my mind. D, what do you think?
True,
what do you think that Dexter Lumis wants with The Miz? And do you think The Miz is the perfect guy for him to start a feud with?
The Miz is a perfect guy, but it might not be starting a feud. It might be starting a team up. And maybe Ciampa's the guy that's on the way out. Maybe he gets Ciampa over as a babyface. So they start beefing with Miz and Dexter Lumis.
So this is why I'm so glad we brought D on the show. So now you've added another wrinkle to this investigation. Are you sitting there telling me the realness, Brother D, that you were under the assumption that maybe Dexter Lumis is trying to warn The Miz? Because maybe he doesn't
maybe
trust Ciampa.
Or maybe The Miz has something that Dexter Lumis needs.
Dang
it. And it's not his massive underwear.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would hope not. I don't think Maurice will be too pleased, but
I mean, Andy would not be pleased either.
Here's the thing. Just when I thought this investigation was over.
He does need that mouthpiece, though.
I mean, think about it, though. Like,
mouthpiece.
maybe Dexter Lumis is like, no, Tommaso Ciampa is not the guy. It's me. And trust me, you can't trust Tommaso Ciampa because I've seen this guy before. I know what he's about. He's going to turn on you. Maybe he's trying to save The Miz from Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah. Maybe he draw a picture in the back. Never know.
Maybe Tommaso Ciampa is the bad guy. Maybe he's just using the Miz and it's going to turn on him, and Dexter Lumis is trying to save him.
Maybe.
See, this is what I'm talking about. See, this is just what I think. Go ahead. Just when. Oh, okay. Just when I think that this investigation is over, it's not, gentlemen. We're going to revisit this next week.
I'm thinking this is more a movie deal.
Do you think that's what it is? Do you think that the Miz can get? Listen, Miz is the king of the straight to DVD WWE movies. Are they even making those anymore?
Corn said he said Dexter Lumis is a big fan of the Marine franchise, and I was like, wow, like I'm sitting here thinking,
wait a minute, Brian H, you might be onto something, brother.
Yeah,
what if Dexter Lumis is auditioning for the Miz?
We all look at the community tonight. We all came together, put our heads together.
This is why we had to launch this investigation. This is exactly what I was talking about. Maybe Dexter Lumis is auditioning to be in the Miz's next movie. Interesting. I mean, he did get fired. He's really not being considered a WWE superstar. They say this guy's released. He's not a WWE superstar. He's not signed with WWE. Maybe he's trying to secure his next job by maybe getting in the Miz's next movie. Listen, we got to revisit this next week, brothers. But we will come back and we will continue to assess the situation with Dexter Lumis and his shenanigans. What does he really want? Why is he really here? Tune in next week, and we will continue the investigation. The moment we've all been waiting for. This is the main event of our show, gentlemen. We finished Raw with an exchange. We saw an exchange between Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins. I can't hold it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Time out.
You knew it was coming.
Hey,
Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins. Hold on. Do you have it on deck? Do you have it on deck? Hold on. Let me get an intro.
My family. Let's talk about your family. Oh, wait, you ain't got one because your wife divorced you and took your kids and they don't want to see your bitch ass anymore, huh? What did you just say? Yeah, you heard me. You talk about my family, let's talk about you.
Look, somebody made a TikTok. I found a TikTok of somebody else doing like this. It wasn't even them two, their faces, but yeah, that was.
They sound like two little kids at recess going back and forth.
Why did he go at him like that? Time out, let's back up.
But you know what makes it great, mighty quick. I know we're about to get into it. But you know what makes it so great? Because Seth Rollins do the whole laugh, the whole Joker thing, all that stuff. But then he just out of nowhere, like, yeah, let's talk about your family, bitch. What's up? just out of nowhere, and it worked. It worked perfectly.
It caught me off guard so much. He was so relaxed by it.
Hey, are you still there? Okay. Let's talk about your family real quick.
And then Riddle.
Oh my God. Dude, you don't get. I'm gonna smash your face in,
bro.
Like that wasn't, bro. Or
right, say, Riddle wasn't high. Like he wasn't. Yeah, man.
If he was, he brought him down
real quick.
Bro, he got so. He said, "What you?" Hey, first of all, hold on. Let's wind it up because that was ridiculous. That threw me off. First of all, let's talk about the exchange. Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins was something I wasn't originally excited for SummerSlam.
Really?
Yeah, because we were still fresh off of we want Cody and Seth. That's I was mentally not ready to let that go.
Okay.
And I know that Seth Rollins and Riddle have had kind of like unofficial personal issues around the time when Riddle first got to WWE, or like that awkward space when he was on NXT, and he was like, I think Riddle had kind of said, you know what, I don't know why Seth beef with. First of all, I'll never work with Riddle. I'll never work with that idiot. Blah 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 blah. And I remember Riddle said something like, I think, what was that? Oh, Joy. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Joy. She said, "Hey y'all," and then talk with his whole chest.
I think he mentioned something about Becky. He's like, I think he's upset with me because I might have said something about his wife in comparison to my wife, whatever the case may be. And he's had issues with me ever since. So, I was not expecting them to work with each other. But then Randy kind of got him over, and all of a sudden he's loved and he's liked in the locker room, and Riddle became kind of a household name. But You know, originally their match at SummerSlam didn't mean too much because I was like, well, they just try to fill space until Randy Orton kind of comes back, until Cody kind of comes back. But they had
you might have been the only person who wasn't disappointed that they took it off the card.
Now, if I was there, of course I'm pissed because I want to see Seth Rollins and Riddle perform. But I was not disappointed at all. I was like, so what? Yeah, they're gonna do that Clash of the Castle, no big deal. But they have done an excellent job of pulling me in as a fan to be invested in the realism that they're adding to everything, which is really, really cool because it's like, let's talk about, they were in the parking lot earlier and they had a quote unquote social media fan clip. Like, oh snap, look at this, look. And they showed us Riddle and Seth Rollins, and I was like, dude, they definitely get that from AEW because Darby Allin and Brody King were doing that. Like Darby Allin was doing autograph signs at like bookstores, and Brody King was attacking them. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Just too bad AEW know how to pull it off right. And all of a sudden, you see the same thing. They're adding these they're adding these elements that's like realistically, that's what happened. If you're coworkers and you don't like each other, and you just happen to see each other in the parking lot, it's on site. You know what I mean? Not like, oh, I see you, we're gonna be civilized until we get to the ring. If I don't like you, I don't like you any and everywhere. And it's those small pockets of details that help move these stories kind of along. You know what I mean? We haven't seen those guys in the ring with each other once. When was the last time we saw a Seth Rollins match on TV? Right? Because he's been featured in a way where they're getting you excited for what's to come rather than saying, well, I'm bored, I don't see him anywhere. So of course they have an exchange in the parking lot, and they get into a fight out there, and then they have this interview. Once again, they keep having these separate interviews because these guys, they are manufacturing the hate for each other. And I think it's coming across well on TV to the point where they do an interview and they go, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. We saw something more explosive after the cameras went off. And all of a sudden, what we hear was that exchange. I thought it was, first of all, it was shocking, surprising, and hilarious all in the same boat. D, you've been calling Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Quill for a long time. Did you ever in a million years think you would ever see an exchange like that between a Seth Rollins, who has this kind of this villain Joker type character, and this kind of slow down stoner kind of Matt Riddle character, and then they were dropping F-bombs and BAs and all kind of crazy stuff? Like, this is what you want to see, right? This is what you need for your Monday Night Raw. Talk to me.
Hey man, Matt Riddle. First of all, he got his first name back, so that's a great thing. You know, he was in the back with this fight outside with Seth Rollins. First of all, he made sure his flip flops came off. He made sure to let you know my flip flop is coming off. But I do think Vince McMahon treated him more as a joke at first.
My bad. I'm sorry. Can we address how strong his feet must be?
Hey, man, his feet must be strong. Strong feet. But Vince McMahon kind of treated more as a joke, having birds and animals come out of him, come out his butt. But I think with the Triple H machine, getting back to how he was yeah, it was, man. It was coming out of his butt. It was coming out everywhere. Every animal on the sun. But Vince McMahon, with him being gone, I think Triple H had put him back to the NXT mode. He was more physical, more realer. And it looks good on him, man. That's what people want to see out of Riddle, though. We know he's a stoner, but they ain't want to see him be goofy too, man. Like that. Yeah. And it was just exposed too. It was too much. Him and Randy was cool, but then they did a little too much with it. But now they got him back serious. Seth Rollins is, to your point, Dwayne, not been wrestling on TV. It's bigger anticipation now. And now you want this matchup. I was like Brian, I was disappointed wasn't on SummerSlam, but now with what they've done, it's even bigger now. And then the clash, it literally is going to be a clash at the castle with them two.
Yeah, especially in front of that audience. Like that's a SummerSlam, WrestleMania type audience, and that crowd's going to be hot. Brian H., what do you think? Do you think, to what D was saying, do you like this version of Riddle better? Like this is the Riddle that you told me to watch. Like Brian H. was like, no, you got to see this dude. I'm like, who's this Matt Riddle guy? I keep seeing in like MLW, and he's like, oh no, this is this former mixed martial arts guy. He's wrestling. They said he's almost as good as Kurt Angle because he's picking it up so well. So that's why I paid attention to him originally. Of course, I didn't like him, because with his no shoes and stuff like that. But Brian H., what do you think?
Yeah, me and Brother Hugh watched a lot of them at CZW. If you go in the Hazmat Photography Archives, you can definitely see some footage and photos of them. But this is what I want to see. There's always Bruce Pritchard been saying for years, you know, when he was just doing the podcast. Shout out to Brother D, because he the one who put us on to that, by the way.
Yes, you have, brother.
Bruce came back. He came back last week. Thank God Bruce came back. Hallelujah.
Can he stay there? Like,
came back.
That's a different story.
Well,
just stay on the podcast. But he you know, like I said, yeah, watching him in MLW, you know, and that's, you know, him and MJF, they work with Pritchard, and you know, he kept saying this guy's a star. Mm-hmm. And the goofy stuff was cool. You know, I got a chance to, you know, hang out with him a little bit at WrestleMania, at the 2 nights before WrestleMania, and it was cool. But it's like, nah. The fact is, we know, like, he can destroy anybody on that roster, and you want to see that translate.
Now, before you keep going, when you said you hung out with him, did you hang out with like Riddle, or you hung out with like character Riddle? Was he like kind of working because he knew that he was in public, or do you feel like that was who he really was?
No, that's who he is, you know.
Okay,
bro. Right. You know, me, him, Evan, we all, you know, got some pics. You know, just right after the like Hall of Fame. I feel like he might have been walking. Yeah, you know, and granted, it was like, you know, it was just a very chill vibe. Okay. You know, funny story. Sheamus was ready to beat somebody up. And he was like, "Yo, get Sheamus out of here!" Like Damien Priest, like, "Yo, get him out of here."
Had to be an Irish brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But you know, the fact is he can beat people up. Like the match people want to see is him and Lesnar. That's the match he wants. In order to get there, we can't get Riddle on a scooter. Yeah, we need this type of guy,
right?
And I thought Monday, man, like that clip got over millions of views on Twitter. Mm-hmm. It's been repurposed. You go see different variations of TikTok of it, and then like I said, the fact that there was once real heat, and it still make you wonder because Seth went below the belt, and you hear about this range. Seth Rollins is a top guy. He's one of the best promos in WWE. So do you not think he's been given? Just go say you've been given bullet points, you know, because I don't think I don't know if they write that script, but you know, like you said, the way he said it, no laugh, and then boom, you know. So man, it's over. This is gonna be fun. This could steal the show already, but now it could steal the show because of how personal it is.
Yeah, Brother Hugh, do you think that the fact that they teased kind of like the previous heat, that kind of adds a little fuel to the fire? Because they were kind of like, yo, we all know where this comes from. And then they mentioned something that happened on TV, and I was like, oh, that's kind of slick. You know what I mean? Because I was thinking like, they're going to talk about what happened, you know, years ago, or the comments that were made. But it's like, no, they kind of, to me, it seemed like it's happening in a short amount of time, though. Do you think that is kind of added to, like, I guess, the expectations of what people are looking for, where you know, that from what you did, think about from what you were going to get at SummerSlam to probably what you're going to get Saturday. You know what I mean? Do you see a drastic difference, or do you feel like maybe it was a blessing in disguise that there was time to wait to kind of, you know, add fuel to the fire for this feud? Because we probably would have got a Vince McMahon version of SummerSlam. You know, that was kind of around the time everything was going down, versus, you know, a full-fledged Triple H version of this idea. What do you think?
Yeah, I was definitely about to say, you know, I was disappointed at SummerSlam, you know, like you said, because I was there.
Sure, you were there, of course.
Right. But makes sense, perfect sense. Like, just like Brian, to piggyback off of what Brian said, I knew him from CZW.
Yep.
I've seen him wrestle like up close. I was ringside with him, you know, got a chance to speak with him, you know, whatnot. And the character that he portrayed at that point in time, that's him.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really a fan of the goofy Riddle or whatnot. And it just seems like once he reached the main roster, he was there as kind of like Vince McMahon's Joker. He was R-Truth.
Yeah.
He was R-Truth. Straight up.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's the only reason he got put on. Because remember the heat with the Brock Lesnar and all of that, and him talking smack and Goldberg. So it's like,
he was not well liked early on. I think said Randy Orton saved his reputation backstage.
And you get heat with money makers, like regardless how people
the main like top guys.
They bringing in millions of dollars.
The guys that help make or break your career, for goodness sake.
Right. But I mean, I understand why he did it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if it was from a business standpoint, I understand why he would go at those guys, because those are the people you want to fight.
Of course.
You want to show
those are marquee matchups. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep.
But nobody really knows you like that, honestly, at that level right now. Yeah, they saw you in NXT for a little while, but they still don't really know you like that.
And that's exactly how I felt watching him. From, like I said, my first time seeing him was in MLW, all the way up to what you just said, NXT, and onto the main roster. But
he's a bad
no,
man.
I did not ride the scooter. He ain't had a scooter at the restaurant.
You sure? He did.
That was going to be my next question. Like, Brian H, did you get a chance to?
They're in the comments, man.
I don't know.
He was in there like Tony Hawk.
I mean, like, he might have been like flipping the scooter thing. I don't know.
Doing little kick flips and all that.
I don't know, Brian. They're kind of calling you out about this whole scooter thing.
Yo, it was, first of all, it was crowded. I mean, you had like in that bar, it was, everybody was in there, so it wasn't no room for no scooter.
So, are you saying that if it wasn't crowded, you would have ridden the scooter? Like I
said,
that's what I'm hearing.
I wouldn't mind riding a scooter. I ain't riding on no skateboard. I leave that up to you, because I tried to get on a skateboard one time. So no, I ain't built for it.
It can get a little.
I'm with you on that one, Brian. I'm good.
It can get a little sketchy. Don't get me wrong. I'm as big as I am. That can be a little sketchy on both ends, because nobody wants to see a big dude fall. That's embarrassing. But no, this is I enjoy this. This is like one of the highlights of like.
Why do big dudes fall in like slow motion?
I don't know. I have not figured it out, bro. I figured because maybe it's the distance from like here to here, but it's like I could never figure it out. Like, bro, it's like a brief pause.
It's like, oh, there's the knees. Hold on. Oh,
bro. Listen, I don't know. I try to stay as low as possible when I do anything, especially like if I'm on a skateboard. And, like, you try to stand up and ride a skateboard. It's just like, look, exactly. Like, this is, it might be the distance. I don't know. But main event time. We go into a big international weekend. We're gonna call this Triple H claps back at Tony Khan weekend, because this is supposed to be all out.
That's weekend, the title of the show.
But this is going to be an international like proportion of negatude. I'm just saying words and making stuff up, but it's like
negatude. I like
negatude because you have
it's your show. You make up words as you want.
I mean, that's the
like we got 2 words for him.
That's the freedom of this space right here. You know what I mean?
Back. We gonna clap back. Oh, my bad.
Nah, see, look, y'all took Brother Hugh back. He was ready to go in.
It's that job. We might be good with him though.
Yeah, we might be. It's a possibility. Hey, hold on, real quick. Did you guys know the little scrappy Russells?
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, they've been doing right,
bro. I just we got to catch up. We'll go ahead. Well, look, D's like, oh Lord, hold on, we'll catch up. But they don't ever show that on like none of the love and hip hop stuff. Like, they don't ever show the wrestling there. Like, I'll watch it if that's what he was doing there, but never mind.
The Indies, man.
This is the Indies are alive and well. Like, that's we'll definitely push with that, especially with a lot of the ethnic. Look at Emerging Bias can come with the hateration. The way he can say whatever he was. You got them right, Taekwon. Hateration. But something special about this year's NXT Worlds Collide. Like I said, we have NXT Worlds Collide on Sunday, and we have Clash at the Castle on Saturday. We're going to address Worlds Collide first before we get into Clash at the Castle, for a very specific reason. This is a very special NXT show of international proportions because, one, there's a lot of unification title matches going on in the show. And Brian H. so eloquently pointed out some of the magical moments that we had this past Tuesday, as of this recording, August 31st, 2022, of NXT. We had an influx of so many former champions, NXT UK, men and women's, and then all the a lot of former NXT champions kind of giving these pep talks to Braun Breaker, to Tyler Bate, and even Rhea Ripley shows up. And first of all, I thought it was a very, very, very touching spot. I thought it made so much sense, and I think it helped to make this pay-per-view that much more special, because if you don't know, NXT UK is ceasing operations because they're going to do more of a global expansion into Europe. They're going to expand to NXT Europe and just everything outside of the United Kingdom. Yeah. So, we have UK titles. We have NXT titles. I think we're in a space where I think they're going to wrap up 2.0 and rebrand NXT again. And to me, they have the perfect reason and excuse to do so. And we're going to have some unification matches. So this is a quick rundown of the match card for NXT Worlds Collide. And you brothers, by all means, correct me, or if there's anything to add, please say so. So you have Braun Breaker versus Tyler Bate for the NXT and NXT UK Championships, the unification match. You have Mandy Rose versus Miko Satomura and versus Blair Davenport for the NXT and NXT UK Women's
Miko
Championship.
Satomura, the boss, the final boss.
She is going. Man, I love her.
does
She's
give me
really
that.
good.
She
Yes,
really does
I'm
give off
telling you.
those vibes, bro. I
When
thought
I
I was
saw her
playing
in
Metal Gear
NXT
Solid
UK,
when it,
bro, he said Metal Gear Solid. When I saw her in NXT UK, I was like, oh, they moved her over there. I was like, oh, that's intense. Carmelo Hayes versus Ricochet for the NXT North American Championship. That's probably going to steal the show. Then again, I don't know so much talent on here. Do you have Katana Chance and Kaden Carter versus Nikki ASH and Doudrop for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships? And you have Gallus versus Pretty Deadly versus the Creed Brothers versus Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen for the NXT and NXT UK Tag Team Championships. D. Speak to the importance and the legacy of what's about to happen, because I think we're going to get a brand new NXT, right? And before we kind of wrap up 2.0 in NXT UK, kind of speak on how important it is for these titles kind of be unified as one, as NXT UK kind of takes its place in wrestling history, and as they kind of expand into, a bigger scope of wrestling in Europe.
I think it's huge in the sense of them trying to get the whole Europe territory going. First of all, I want to say that's how you build to a pay-per-view. You get everybody interested in the history of NXT and NXT UK. You bring that history in, you merge this stuff together, and like you were saying, Dwayne, to your point, they can now kind of make an excuse. So I had to be NXT 2.0 no more. It can be kind of, we're going NXT, we bringing it all in, and then when we get ready to do the NXT Europe, then we put some of our guys we wanted that back overseas and take care of business there. But I thought they did a really good job of getting you ready for this pay-per-view. I'll be honest, outside of Breaker and Break, was it that much buzz to it at first? Not really. But then you see all these former NXT folks either coming back to wrestle or coming back to get prep talks. Tyler Bate and Butch. Of course, we know the history they have.
Bro, that was excellent. By the way,
huge.
I like the idea of that. Yeah,
Gunther talking the debate as well. Their history.
That was a good one too.
It was. I was like, wow. Because I was coming back in, I was filming an event. So when I came back in, I said, let me check out the highlights of NXT. And I was like, this is probably the best NXT that's been around definitely for a while. And once again, with Triple H under the helm, it's helping get the story out. And before you guys go mighty quick, you see it on all the shows. They're mentioning stuff from the past that's happened. They're not hiding from it, even with the women's tag team. That Gonzalez and Dakota was partners. They was partners for the women's NXT title. So they're not hiding the fact that this stuff happened, and it integrates the history in. It does a good job in integrating everything in, and it makes it important. That's what's huge. It makes it important.
I agree, Brother Hugh. Unifying these championships, NXT UK, and kind of, I guess you could kind of call it NXT 2.0 because it's NXT 2.0 kind of changed a little bit from the black and gold brand that we knew. You know what I mean? So it seems like two entities kind of merging as one to kind of like I said, just kind of rebrand NXT into a new animal. How important is this pay-per-view? Because the first, if you remember the first Worlds Collides, it was really, really good. You know what I mean? But it seemed like a standalone situation versus this particular pay-per-view with NXT, man. It's kind of monumental because it's like we're kind of wrapping up two brands and we're probably going to get, kind of a fresh, at least that's what I'm assuming. You know what I mean? What's your take on it?
I mean, well, once again, Triple H is part of a storyline where it's the end of an era and a new era begins. Yep. So it's very important now with the unification, and then he's going to bring new titles in. You hear the rumors; they're already talking about new titles, not only on the main roster, but imagine how these these titles are going to look with NXT and whatnot. And then
Right.
also, did y'all notice that there was a lot of rumors and a lot of just like uproar about Wade Barrett? Nah,
As
so
far as his,
apparently I think he re-signed or something.
he did. He
But
he signed a multi. Yeah.
yeah, but he said something along the lines of, "Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to wrestling or jumping back in the ring again." And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's funny. That's funny. And they was promoting it big time, and I was just like, well, worlds collide. Okay, NXT Europe. Okay,
Yeah. I
something
mean,
might be going on down. So, but it's just the little things like that's going to help promote this era, this new beginning, this rebirth. So I'm excited for it.
nah, yeah, I think to what you said, brother Hugh, I think is something's brewing. You know what I mean? Because call me crazy, 'cause I know exactly what you're talking about. Because Shawn Michaels and Triple H were like extremely excited for him to resign, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, Wade Barrett's great, and I was always a huge Wade Barrett fan. Wade Barrett's action figure in my collection gets like he's in a title match tomorrow. You know what I mean? He's in a title match tomorrow. You know what I mean? So like
Afraid I got some bad news.
You know what I'm saying? So like, but it's like they were overly excited about it. Like, yo, we're so glad and elated to have Stu Bennett back with us for a couple of years. I was like, okay, all right. But hey, man, only time will tell. And I think the beauty of it all, like I said, is we get to be excited about it. And it's I'm looking forward to what it has. I never caught NXT UK in its fullest, but when I did, I was like, oh, and even some of the early stuff, man. Like I call them the young and hungry group, like Naked Face, Pete Dunne. You know what I mean? And Tyler Bate, and even when Walter kind of came in the mix, when he beat Pete Dunne, I said, okay, who the heck is this guy? But like when you look at all the stuff from Progress and everything that he has done, you're like, oh, this dude is intense. And even like Dragunov, he was injured, had to relinquish the title.
I gotta say is they better be ready because they got the machine behind them now.
I mean, there's no excuses, man. I'm excited, man, and that's the part, because this is a version of wrestling that we never really got a chance to really see, like in our faces, right? You had to go to NXT UK, like you had to watch it on the network, and when you get on network, a lot of times there's so much other stuff on there. You get distracted. Table for 3 popped up. You know what I mean? You didn't. There was no sense of urgency to go see NXT UK because I was privy to so much other. So much other stuff on the network, when it was still a network on its own. And you didn't. I'll be the first to admit I didn't fully appreciate the product, but it's like, man, now that they're kind of bringing their style to the main front, all I got to do is turn to USA or turn to Fox or whatever, and I get to see what they have to bring to the table on my main show. It's easier for me to kind of get into what we're seeing.
Like looking at this, man, it's a big deal because, like I said in our group chat, Survivor Series 2001. That was the first DVD, wrestling DVD I bought because, it's transition getting a DVD player. And I remember watching it all the way through. The whole night was leading to the winner take all match. And you remember that's when they had Classy Freddie Blassie talking to the WWF team. You had Vince McMahon talking to everybody. But like for The Rock, he talked about the High Chief Peter Maivia. For the Undertaker, he talked about like what Andre the Giant met, knowing what that those two shared a locker room very briefly and what he meant to him. Because you really look at it like Andre passed the locker room leader to the Undertaker in a sense.
Oh yeah, big time.
So you saw all of that in a modernized way, having the access, just having those wrestlers come down to Florida and talk to them. Shayna Baszler got in Mandy Rose's face and like, wow, man, you need to win this now because
Yeah, I forgot about Shayna Baszler. She was another one that showed up.
Yeah, she was dominant.
And she kind of finally gave her respect. Because first it was kind of like they didn't take her seriously.
Exactly.
But now they're like, oh, look at you. Now, like you said, now that was dope. I enjoyed that a lot. Like I said, I didn't even pay any mind until Brian just kind of brought it to my attention. I was like, oh wait, let me go back and watch this. And I was like, oh wow, they actually did that. Like Finn was there, like everybody. And, it was crazy because you had Finn talking to Braun Breaker, but yet Finn is from the UK. Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, you had Papa Ciampa coming in there and getting all sentimental.
How about that?
You know what I mean? And he was, I think he was the guy that kind of made Braun Breaker.
Yeah. Yep.
But
he did.
Just to make it lets you know, like this is a big deal. Yeah, and And I looked it up. That's going to be in the Performance Center. Unfortunately, I wish it was overseas, but it's send everybody. But they're going to outgrow these takeovers at the Performance Center because now when it get back the way it used to be, or whatever, the premium live NXT events, it's going to have to go back into arenas, and because people are getting excited about NXT again.
Yeah, and like I said, there's an influx of talent because they've taken the best of what they had in NXT UK. Unfortunately, a lot of people got released from their contracts. So I don't know if they're going to be invited to come back as far as the expansion brand or what it's going to, you know what I mean? But they brought a lot of those. They brought a lot of those stars to the States, and you can tell the ones that they kind of handpicked. Like, all right, let's go with this group. And I think they have a massive class of talent that are coming over here. And time only tells, but like I said, that's only one part of the weekend because we have, gentlemen, what we've been waiting for since SummerSlam, Clash at the Castle. First of all, D, what are you expecting from Clash at the Castle overall? This is the first time that a big time stadium show has been done in who knows how long in the UK, in Cardiff, Wales, in a big stadium.
Since SummerSlam '92, right?
It's been that long.
Big stadium like that.
Like, this is like a test for like if they'd ever decided to do WrestleMania in Europe or in London or England, you know what I mean? London, England, or anything like that.
Now they had one of them pay-per-views. What was it called? Insurrection was over there. Back in the 2000s.
They would do stadium shows. They would do Insurrection, and those shows weren't televised, but they were put on tape. You know what I mean? So like, what are you expecting from Clash of the Castle? First of all, we have a massive main event, in Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. I mean, probably the biggest star on the roster from the UK. You know what I mean? And Drew McIntyre kind of get to have this kind of a WrestleMania moment, you know what I mean, with Roman Reigns, on his turf. What in the United Kingdom, of course. Not in the United Kingdom, but in Cardiff, Wales. We'll say that. What are you expecting? Like, what are you looking forward to the most at Clash of the Castle?
Expect a good wrestled event. We got matches that people want to see, like I said, Riddle against Seth Rollins. Well, Matt Riddle.
They're gonna kill each other.
Yes. You got Edge and Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day. That'll be a part of the events over there. And of course, the main event. Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, and this is really the first match in a long time in Roman Reigns' reign that it's a little question here. He might not stack them. He might not smash them as easily this time. And like I say, we're at Drew.
Why are you guys obsessed with this song? I didn't like it. I never liked that version of Drew McIntyre.
I know you didn't. No.
Bring it back.
You see the promo he did on Twitter with it?
I did though.
Yeah.
So he was teasing, bringing it back.
He said he tried.
I do like his recent thing though.
It's Jim Johnson.
I like the recent thing though.
See, I don't see that's when you that's a lot of money.
Jim Johnson needs to be in the Hall of Fame, by the way. Jim Johnson needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Are you kidding
me? Jim Johnson is the guy.
Stephanie will make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think the main event. I think Roman will retain with some help from
as always.
A certain cross. A certain cross is going to help him out. And then him and Drew can duke it out. I think somebody from Raw is going to beat Roman for the original WWE Championship. I know USA was saying they don't like that they don't have a champion on there consistent.
Sure.
But they also have very high ratings right now too.
That is also true.
They are. Yeah. They are. So I think that went down a little bit.
They might quiet it down a little bit, like you said. You know what I mean?
I mean. So let me ask you this. We'll start with the main event. Why not? Like let's just jump right into it. I know we're running a little bit late. We're always burning the midnight oil.
Yeah.
Look, Brian, he's tired. Look at him. He's not enough. He's been not enough the entire show. Like,
where's his glasses?
Yeah, he needs a.
Remember, he was over there a couple weeks ago, looking like what's his name?
Bernie. He might be drinking some.
Bernie.
He might be drinking some.
Bernie.
He might be drinking some Pepsi over there. He might be drinking some Pepsi or Coke, maybe.
Pepsi. I ain't doing this over here. I did this over there. And then Jimmy Hart had the nerve to say Coke first this morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
The mouth from the South. How was that? Was Jimmy pleasant?
Oh yeah.
He seems like a pleasant
Well, I thought it
individual.
was a
I
cool
had to
interview,
ask him.
man.
I asked him, did Greg the Hammer Valentine or King Kong Bundy have any mark out moments at WrestleMania 1? He said, no, but I tell you, I did. He said, I was taking pictures. I wanted
mouth
pictures
of the
with
South.
everybody. I said, it was cool.
That's gonna be a good documentary Sunday too. WrestleMania 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. It is an excellent. I'm
It comes
sad to
with
see
doing
that.
AEW.
They're doing it on purpose, bro.
I gotta watch
Right.
AEW. I gotta.
Hey, quick, any questions? Does WWE Treasures come back now that
Top Dollar.
Top Dollar's back? Because I like that show.
The Top Dollar
Let's
back.
ask Brett.
Yeah,
We
man.
gotta ask Brett.
That was cool.
Mhm.
They showed a rerun of it Friday. Sunday night. They did.
See,
So,
there you
yeah.
go. They're getting back. Listen, just bring back the network, and listen, that'll be better than Christmas right now. If you just give me,
Yeah,
you do not know how happy I'll be if they freaking bring back the network.
You gotta
I'll
let
watch it
that.
for a
You
week
gotta
straight.
let the cock go. Gotta let the cock go. I heard the
All they
cock
had
been
to
losing a
do.
lot of money.
All they had
Stupid
to do
Peacock.
A lot of money.
was just take like Dwayne thought it was gonna be. Put Peacock in there. Like if you're gonna use Peacock, just send when you click WWE, it take you right to the network interface. That's all they had to do.
Bro, they still got the network in other countries. We the only ones that got in Peacock. So it's
We
not
gotta
like,
go through.
I know, right?
Season
That's
one
what makes
of
it even more
WrestleMania.
madder.
Right.
that's terrible. But like I said, we have
another
Liv
one.
Morgan.
I hate Peacock.
Exactly. There it is. Hold on, that's got to go up there. I
Yeah,
want
put
to
that
be
up there. Yeah.
Bad.
Stupid Peacock. But
Man
here's-
Cave TV Sports. Man Cave Sports TV. Thanks for joining. Just popped in.
oh, that's perfect timing.
Hey.
Right out the man cave. That's what I'm talking about.
So we got Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler. I think that'll be a match that wow. I'm not I didn't put that up there. Wasn't me.
That was me. I take
Yep,
responsibility for the shenanigans.
Wasn't me. We have Liv Morgan, and we was talking about the women too. Like that's just
Oh,
this is terrible timing. We have Liv Morgan and Shayna Baszler. I think it's a match that Shayna Baszler deserves to be in, just in that spot in front of this type of audience. You know what I mean? Okay, we got another buck
it's a rap, brother.
And,
I think that match. I don't know if it's gonna get
Collective.
overshadowed,
yeah,
Mhm.
but I think we get Charlotte back, and of course, Ronda's still running around acting crazy.
I think we get plenty of
So,
surprises. I think they want to make the fans kind of happy over there.
I'm thinking maybe a double double switch.
Mhm.
Maybe that's also a possibility. Of course, we have
Yeah.
Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka versus Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Scott. They've been building to that for a while now. I think that's going to be a barn burn. Of course, we talked about Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins. That's going to handle stuff. But Gunther versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Champion.
Ooh, that's gonna be a slobber
Say it,
knocker.
Dwayne. Say it, Dwayne.
Almighty.
They're going to kill each other. That's going to be intense. Like that's like Shinsuke.
Do you
and,
open the
Gunther.
show with that?
No. I
Okay.
know the heck you better not, because you gotta
tough.
follow that. You better.
I don't know that
don't
anybody
do
top
that,
that.
bro. Don't
No, if you
don't.
follow it, you
I
follow
don't
it,
know what they do.
Shayna and Liv, because that's going to be
No,
5 minutes.
Why-
Or less.
bro. Maybe. Sure. Okay.
If you do,
Sure.
Yeah,
I
Ty
think-
Conn-
Or do you start
He's
with
saying she'll be on open.
Riddle against Rollins?
I would start a show with that.
Mm.
Yeah.
You
I
can
would
start off
show
with that.
Start off hot.
because I wouldn't. Because I would not want to put that in the middle of the show. And I'd be like, bro, I'd be like, no, I'm not going after that. Like, they just killed each other.
You know the crazy thing though? It's like we starting off like me and brother Hugh know this very well. Wrestlers who not main event and usually would want to be early in the card so they can go home. You
There you
can't
go.
just go home because you're overseas, so you stuck. You go back to your hotel, but it ain't like
Enjoy the festivities.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I can see Rollins and Riddle.
I think definitely Rollins and Riddle. It doesn't matter where you put them at. They're gonna, you know what I mean.
That's a perfect way to start it. You can start it at the airport.
You want to start off hot. There you go.
Hey, start off the airport. Oh
this is earlier today.
God.
Like we remember seeing The Rock kicking Mick Foley. Mick Foley, he's not even fully dressed. He's got his outfit on, no mask on. Rock's got a jacket on, and his suitcase, kicking him down the steps, talking to the trash like this, all the security. Like I was just like, bro, that was Sunday Night Heat action. That got you excited for the pay-per-view.
Right. I
can see
that.
that.
Was Sunday. That was Sunday. He was really.
They need to bring that back. Yeah.
Hey, that would definitely be something. Too bad people just don't watch TV anymore. But I mean, what if it was an online show? Would you guys be okay with that? Like a YouTube special? Like we're going live on YouTube Sunday Night Heat?
I would.
I think because WWE do it right, unlike the buy-ins.
Or if you bring back the freaking network, you can do it. Or do it like
no, it's not the buy-in no more now. They changed the name, Brian.
What's
it's
it now?
The 0 hour. 0
Oh, okay.
hour.
Moving on. Really? Oh my gosh. But we got we'll be wrapping up with as of right now, like I said, this is card subject to change, of course. I'm sure we'll see plenty of surprises, man. I'm excited for the show. But Edge and Rey Mysterio, Dominic versus the Judgment Day. I mean, I just like, first of all, you get to be in the ring with Edge and Rey Mysterio. Like, first of all, Finn is going to be in his world, and Damian Priest gets to be on the platform. So is Rhea Ripley. I honestly think Dominic has a crush on Rhea Ripley. Like,
yeah, I was about to say,
would that be twist? He's gonna be like, Dad, I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of like her. Like,
she the whole man in the
I like that blacklist tip, Daddy.
Bro, she's the focal point of the group, and I like how they make her like the focal point of the group. You got
because the men ain't winning though.
No, I don't see them winning, but I think Dominic is like has a thing for like Rhea Ripley because he like looked at her the other day and he kind of like just put it down. She's like, Dominic, chill out, come on, and he's just looking at her. I'm like, first of all, this girl done choked me out 3 or 4 times. I might not hit you, but I ain't finna sit there and give you the stick that like nah.
The first time
really
I was kind of shocked at first, but the second time,
he was like, yo, so we doing this? We're gonna let her just keep beating you up, and then now he's
what happens. Remember when her gear didn't arrive one time? She had them shorts on.
There you go.
Dominic ain't been right since.
I think he likes the way that her
she's his peppy. She's his peppy.
She keeps grabbing on him, and I think he's okay with it. But
he said, "Hey, you better not cut your hair. You better keep that mullet,
bro." He's growing that Eddie. He's growing that Eddie.
Eddie was his poppy at one time now.
Bro, I didn't even catch that though. I was like, everybody's like he came out there with the USA gear on. I was like, oh snap, dude, that's a dude. That's long-term booking. Like he's looking like Eddie Guerrero's son right now with the long mullet. But that to me, I think that's smart because that's how you find a way to be an individual when your dad's Rey Mysterio. You know what I mean? So I think that's pretty cool. But man, gentlemen, I mean, this is I can't I didn't know how Clash at the Castle was going to shape up, but I think that they have done an excellent job of kind of like pulling me in as a fan and giving me a reason to say, oh, okay, now I got to see this. And I think at the end of the day, most wrestling fans, that's all they really want. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, what we lived in 97, 89, 2000, whatever it was. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just don't be lazy about it. Give us a reason. And
story matters.
Absolutely. And I think they've done that even with NXT and their NXT collide. It hasn't been a takeover since Black and Gold. The last takeover was a banger with Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe and Dragunov and Walter. That was the last official takeover. They've had other NXT pay-per-views, but they really haven't been billed as takeovers for a reason. But I just, man, I couldn't be happy with what's going on because it's at least something that I want to see. I'm excited to enjoy. And I'm glad I don't get to sit here with you brothers and have this conversation. Go ahead, brother Hugh.
Now, are you disappointed that we don't get, number one, maybe like a Bobby Lashley or the prize fighter yet?
See, I'm not tripping over Bobby Lashley because he gets featured every week on US
champ, right?
I'm sorry, on Raw as the US champion, and they're doing it right. Like he comes out there as like this Mr. Atlas kind of guy, and he's kind of the showcase muscle guy, and he's, as much as I don't like face Bobby Lashley, they're finding a way to make it work.
Go ahead, Brian.
Go ahead, Brian.
If he could just stop wearing those two-tone Harlem Heat tights, I would be better. Like, he's killing me with the black and gold and the red. Like, bro, just go solid tights, brother. You Bobby Lashley. Like, if he just gets back to solid tights, I'll be fine. I'm a gear guy. We got to get Yolanda on the show so we can talk about wrestling gear, by the way. I thought about that the other day.
I think you need to go back to the shorts.
I've been said that, but like I said, you get older, you don't want to show your thighs out like you used to. Everybody can't be Triple H, but I'm not tripping over the fact that Bobby Lashley's not going to be on a show, especially for United States Championship.
Right.
And then, like I said, I think I think somehow Sammy and Kevin Owens get involved somehow with the Bloodline and the Usos. I think they're gonna play something. How good is freaking Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens?
Man, hey, I called it. I called it a lot.
You
Hey,
definitely did,
bro. I said, look, this was like probably like 2 weeks ago. I was like, look,
Mm-hmm.
man, Sammy and KO, they about to take them titles.
They're going to have a tag team run. We're going to finally get a Sammy and KO run in WWE.
Yeah,
Like a legit
cool,
Sammy
man.
and KO, not like a WWE version of it, like a legit Sammy and KO.
And it's
I'm
about
looking
to be
like,
lovely.
dude, they're going to dethrone the Usos. This is going to be intense.
It's gonna be on some Edge and Christian type stuff.
You know it. And can you imagine? First of all, can you imagine the fun they're going to have? Because
Yes, come on.
because first of all, Sammy and Kevin Owens on a stick together are going to cause. It's going to be a buy rate on its own, and the Usos are going to have so much fun and so much creative space to work with them. I'm like, holy cow! Like I wasn't paying attention to it. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, we're going to get Sammy and KO as a tag team. The most beautiful love-hate relationship in all of professional wrestling outside of Macho and
it is.
And Hogan, rest in peace. But man, I'm excited. I appreciate you brothers staying up this late to burn the midnight oil as we kind of wrap up our conversation about NXT World Collide and Clash the Castle. D, we appreciate you joining us today, man. By all means,
yeah, man.
We can't wait to have you again. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And your input is always valued.
I'm sorry, we make fun of you all the time on here, bro.
I don't make fun.
I heard it now. I heard it now.
It's a tribute. It's a tribute to you. I can't speak for brother.
Just remember, y'all homie Ziggy job does. Make sure. Hey man, look, he be doing them jobs.
He do. I can't be mad at him. Hey.
He's my guy. I just wish they don't treat him like a wet paper bag. That's all I ask.
Hey, but if he's great at what he does, so
he looks good doing it though.
Exactly. So if you found your niche, so it's like, look, just stay there and get paid.
I just want the brother to get a winning streak, man. Something going. His shoulders all the way on the mat.
Dolph Ziggler has been featured every week on Raw since Triple H takeover.
Oh, no. He's not just like Seth Rollins, man. He don't need to win.
He dropped Finn Balor the other day and behind and say, yeah, now come out here and deal with it in the ring.
Taquan said he loves that name, D, that you gave him. Ziggy Job does.
Ziggy Job does.
See the influence.
It gets around. A lot of people love it.
Spreading. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this show. D, if you want, how can people find you on social media? How can people kind of keep up with what you got going on and everything that you that you've been doing in the space of professional wrestling and sports and everything else? Go ahead and tell the people where they can find you.
Oh yes, man. They can find me on the Twitter at DieSportingNet, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Die Sporting Network, which again on the DSN YouTube, we're trying to get to 2K. We're about 30 subscribers away from 2,000 subscribers, man. We appreciate everybody checking it out. And we're gonna have some high school football coming your way this weekend here in this area. In the auspices of Spalding and St. Mary's Riken and Bishop McNamara over the weekend. So
okay,
we're kicking it, and basketball season beyond, Jesus Lord, and we're gonna go from there, baby.
You're off to the races, brother. Like I said, man,
it's too sweet to be sour.
You're gonna be checking out that team on the east side of Baltimore a lot. What was this? Those Panthers?
Yeah. Them Panthers, I'll be over there quite a bit, especially basketball season. But they got two big football games I see too later this year.
I just hope they give you something worth looking at. So we'll see.
Okay.
Wow.
Boy.
But yeah, definitely. You can follow us on all social media platforms at Wrestling Wrealm. Subscribe to our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube at The Wrestling Wrealm. What is this? No, I don't have any wrestling fans. I'm not done. Oh, no.
We gotta go. But look, we got plenty of content on the channel. Hit the subscribe button and look through all the seasons. Plenty of shenanigans.
Listen, Joy.
I didn't count how many videos. Go ahead.
Yeah, good luck with that. Come back and join us next week. We'll be back here in the same space, 10:30, 10:40. Sometimes we have special guests, sometimes we don't. But like I said, this is what we do. This is what we try to take pride in, that we want to bring you guys into the conversation. But we are the Wrestling Wrealm. That is Demarus Dye from Dye Sporting Network and the Flex Zone. And we will catch you next time. Peace.
Houston, we have a problem. Yes!